Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's presentation of Monday Night Mayhem. Moonlight Racing League is in the round of 8. This is our second of the 3 races in that round, and we are coming to you live from Iowa Speedway. 2 in the booth tonight, Mean Gene Money, alongside my partner, Zach Panzarella, about to bring you all the action. Boys are heating up down on the track. Iowa, it's small, not a lot of banking. Everything is on the line. Stakes are high. Zach, I think we might see a little bit of razzmatazz excitement.
Yeah, and we have all night to do it, Mean Gene. One of the longest races of the year, inexplicably, for being Iowa and in the middle of the round of 8, but I'll take it. I always have unlimited fun up here in the booth watching this amazing racing, and there's a lot on the line here. The points are really close in this race, sandwiched right in the middle of the round of 8. This is where these guys are probably going to find out if it's going to be a must-win or not next week.
Let's talk about the points. Last week, Talladega, we saw 2 of the playoff 8 drivers run into trouble. Eric Thornton, Dalton Geyer, both with lag issues. You can see just how far they are below that cut. Don't want to say it's a must-win situation, but you don't want to put it all on the line at Michigan next week, where every driver is just fantastic. And Zach, so many of the playoff 8, the top 6, they just seem to finish in the top 5, top 10 every week. Really puts the pressure on Thornton and Geyer.
Yeah, it makes it so hard to get any sort of momentum here. It really is that one bad finish will put you so far back, but one good finish oftentimes just keeps you right where you are, right? It is a brutal situation out here, and it really just is whoever's going to blink first might be the ones putting themselves in a must-win situation. I agree with you with the situation that Thornton and Geyer are in going into this race. We have a good-sized field here today, so a lot of points available, but they got to do better than they did last week. They cannot have the same type of thing happen. Granted, it was out of their control, but they need today to go about as perfect as possible to make next week a points race.
7th and 8th driver really feeling the pressure. Top 6, though, this thing's wide open. Kevin Kyle, Grant Applegate below the line, but look how close they are. A slight hiccup by any of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th guys could create a conundrum in the point standing. Colin Bollinger, he is a little bit higher than them. Rough run at Iowa last year for Colin, though, as he did finish a couple of laps down. Now, qualifying about to be finished here today. Big news, of course, Jordan Fisher, last week's winner. He's back again, fastest driver in practice. Let's take a look at those qualifying results, and guess what? Looks like Jordan Fisher also gonna be the fastest in qualifying. So big congratulations to Jordan Fisher for taking the pole once again. Last week's win also gave Jordan 5 wins on the season, competing with Collins 4. So those 2 guys neck and neck for wins. Speaking of Colin Bollinger, he's going to be starting on that first row with Jordan Fisher. 2nd row, Lucas Alves. Great qualifying effort today by the 115, starting in 3rd. Firing off from the 4th position, gonna be Grant Applegate. Under the cut line for now, but wouldn't be surprised to see Grant. Remember, he won the stage last week, hunting points. Steve Lewis, the captain, gonna be starting in 5th tonight. Justin Parham took last week's pole, led the most laps at Talladega, caught up in a crash, but Parham, lots of speed, starting 6th. The Colonel, Season 2 champion, going to be starting in 7th. That's Jack Sanders. Next to him on row 4, Joe Volpis in 11th. Joe moved up 2 spots with his finish last week of 2nd place, and that put him above the cut line. Matt Novella also above the cut line, going to be starting in 9th place. Tony Iverson, almost the forgotten man, but he's 2nd in points. The number 13 going to start in 10th place.
Yeah, Iverson been quiet lately. We'll see what happens today. Eric Gambrill will be starting in 11th place, running double duty. He just finished a DDRL race, 55 laps around the Glen. Zach Lawson will be starting in 12th. Alex Hillman will be over in 13th. Eric Thornton 14th, and the guy that also needs a good run here, Dalton Geyer, will be in 15th. Kevin Kyle, a playoff driver, will be in 16th. John Beverly will be starting in 17th. 18th will be Brandon Guerin. Great to see Brandon getting out here today. 19th is going to belong to Joseph Amato. Great to see a Joseph Amato appearance. Sean Walton in 20th, and Hunter Hall will be rounding out this 21 car field, I should say. And there is only one thing left to do, and do not worry, Mr. James, we did not forget about you. Gosh, he was acting all kind of worried there, Mean Gene.
No,
and now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, James getting us started here today. You know, last week, I thought I'd throw this out there. Alex Hillman won last year here at Iowa. First Monday Night Mayhem win for Alex. So looking forward to coming back to the track here today is Hillman.
Good point.
David Owens, Jonathan Casapir also on the podium with him. Neither driver here today, so kind of opens up. Colin did lead a lot of laps last year, just caught up in some foolishness. So Bollinger would like to exercise the demons of Iowa past. Needs to here today. He is in first in the points going into here in the round of 8 going into the championship 4. But you know he'd love to get that dub. And more importantly, he's looking out the left side of his car. And what does he see there, Zach?
Yep, he sees what he sees just about every week, does he not? But yeah, good point about Hillman. I had almost forgotten about that, and I wonder if Hillman has as well. That was such a great run by him. He deserved that one, but here we go. He's got Jordan Fisher in the field today.
Roll up, waiting for the green flag. Green flag waves, away we go. Colin Bollinger sleeping at the wheel, outside lane. SOL. Inside lane goes, but look at that jump by Fisher. If you don't know what SOL means, it means short on luck. Fisher coming around out on the backstretch. Lucas Alves with him. Remember, this is a 0.8 mile track, 12 to 14 degree banking. So if you go too fast, you might go in the wall. Coming out of 4, Fisher, Alves, Steve Lewis, the captain in 3rd. And it's going to be Jordan Fisher leading lap number 1 here at Iowa.
Mean Gene breaking out the well-known saying that they were short of luck there. Just like when you assume things, you know what it does? It makes us both look silly. So here we go. Colin Bollinger not with the start he wanted, but that's never really the issue for Bollinger in these races, is it? He's comfortable starting in last place pretty often, but here he is in 4th. He's going to try to settle in. He's got Steve Lewis with a fantastic qualifying effort from Louis in the 88. And with the caution, we got a wreck.
Caution, looks like Farmer and the commissioner getting into it. Beverly running the Dukes of Hazzard scheme, and Zach Clausen thinks he's Roscoe P. Coltrane, gets into Beverly, and you can just hear him on the radio. Those Dukes.
Beverly been having so much speed as of late, but has not been able to put together a long run, or a full race, I should say. Man, he almost had it on Friday night over in the MRL ARCA series, and here he is early on using that 01 on the inside, and the outside of him is the 43 of Zach Clausen. These two have gotten to know each other real well in the past few weeks as well. Here we go through 3 and 4. Got a few playoff cars around them as well. Slow it down here, and there's just maybe some netcode, maybe a lack of real estate. I'm going to guess netcode here, Gene. Ooh,
well, I can't tell from that angle.
Yeah, I can't tell from that angle. We're going to have to far chase this maybe
maybe netcode.
Maybe netcode. Let's find out. Either way, we're getting that. Oh, there was not netcode, Mean Gene. There was not netcode. You know what there was though? Yeah. And then break out your fork and break out your knife because that was Kevin James.
Oh, Kevin James wants a piece of that T-bone. There it is.
There it is.
The Bev, the commissioner, getting a little chomp of that steak. You know, Sean Walton, if Sean Walton wasn't so 6'7", he'd have been jealous. He was right there to watch it. I know Mr. Walton likes a good steak.
He does like himself a great steak, and he's an often devouring one in these races. But so far, so good for him. That one happening in the back of the field, and I mean, I think that's something you're going to see all day here today, Mean Gene. So actually 140 laps today. I don't know why we thought 150. That's what I get for listening to Alex Hillman. But this new configuration has completely turned this track upside down, and I really think a lot of the guys that used to be dominant here are still relearning this new track setup, trying to convince themselves that it hasn't changed when it really has quite a bit. So I think a lot of these guys are just not quite as familiar with Iowa as they might think they are.
And I think a lot of the less experienced guys, Iowa is suddenly opened up to them because you have those clear markers of what angle you want to have of entry with that newer pavement being so visible. So suddenly the secrets are off the board. All of what you did in the past is forgotten, and now everybody's learning on that same page. I'm kind of looking forward to that with the trucks and the new aero package about to come out. Maybe we'll see some equalization. Some of these truck drivers have hundreds, 200-300 starts. Kind of hard to overcome some of that. So this new aero package going to make it very interesting. Speaking of interesting aero packages, the next gen cars always having fun out there with that dirty air, with net code, all kinds of things can go on up front. Meanwhile, up front, I did see a couple of guys decide to come in, get a little bit of fuel. Colin Bollinger, Kevin Kyle, John Beverly came in. I think he needed some repair more so.
Brandon Guerin with some trouble. Brandon Guerin has pulled off the track. I'm getting some other data of some crashes happening.
Oh, and look at this. Kenneth Redinger just didn't make the start. That is unfortunate.
So I think we're going to see Guerin potentially pull off the track here. There goes Guerin. Okay, I think we're otherwise okay.
Was he smoking?
No, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it was a connection issue and him just trying to stay on top of it. Nonetheless, what a huge shame. I still am not seeing him on track.
Nope.
But lights off
Let's
the
have
pace
to monitor
car.
that. He might reappear on us. So Jordan Fisher's still being shown as your lead car. Lucas Alves on the outside with him on that front row. Grant Applegate, Steve Lewis, second row, and then Justin Arm, Jack Sanders, third row, about to fire off, rolling into the restart zone. Grant Fisher, 1, 2, 3, away we go. Great start. Yeah. Immediate 4-car lead for Fisher. Boy, he just checked out right there. Lucas Alves on the outside. Here comes the captain, Steve Lewis. Comes in a little bit hard, jerks the wheel, loses momentum. That's going to allow Alves to roll around, take that lead. Real close there from Alves and Lewis. Lewis going to look down below again. Needs to get that 88 rolling if he wants to get by Alves. Alves holding momentum on that outside lane. Alves, Lewis, second and third behind them. Applegate does get clear of Parham, and then it's Iverson. Iverson running in that blue fish speed shark car here tonight. Beautiful, number 13.
And then we see Thornton moving to the inside of Sanders, two of our biggest movers already. Eric Thornton up 7 spots. I believe that will make it 8. And then Tony Iverson up 4. He's already up to 7th place. He's starting 11, so great job by Iverson there. Lucas Alves running really well early here. Currently hanging out in 2nd place. That's Grant Applegate's going to look to the inside of Steve Lewis. Steve Lewis with that great qualifying effort, but bleeding a few spots here early. Needs to just calm down and just start putting in laps and not make any mistakes. This is a marathon. 140 laps around here is not for the weak.
Steve Lewis, you know his heart's pounding already being this far up in the field. Like you said, just needs to chill, get some laps under his belt. Here comes Parham looking around the outside of Lewis now as well. Looks like that outside lane might be viable for passing, at least here early in the run. If you can get it on the asphalt, look at that speed. Yeah, Alvin. Oh, we almost tried to go 3.
Yeah, they thought about it, and they're like, oh, wait, it's not paved over there. But I agree. I think that outside lane is definitely showing some great defensive lines and definitely a place that you can make passes. You just don't want to start there, clearly, because my goodness, it's getting abused on restarts. As Colin Bollinger looks like he might want to go 3 wide.
Yeah, calling in a duck below Joe Volpes, you can see. Now he and Volpes on that apron, gonna get the good speed. Up top, look at that green car. Not so much.
Bollinger and Geyer.
Ooh, touching. Now Bollinger's been, or Geyer's been making use of it, but look at that again. He gets the right side wheels up off of that newer pavement, causing problems. Let Joe Amato dip under him there for a moment, causing a lot of problems. Other drivers up there, look at Eric Gambrell. Gambrell's in that best of the rest run. That's that number 46 Toyota, that Heel Hal's car. missed out on the Texas opener. So he's a lot of points behind because of missing that opener. But you're not going to find a driver with more testicular fortitude and aggression on the track than Gambrel. So very exciting to see him right there with our points leader, Colin Bollinger, trying to move up through the field.
Dalton Geyer being a little bit stubborn on that outside lane right now. I think he needs to find a way to get to the bottom or try something else. As Amato hard into the outside wall there. Gambrel going to try to get by him and take advantage of that mistake, but Geyer running higher than everybody else, almost out of the new asphalt in some spots and definitely out of it in others, but he's bleeding spots. I don't think that's going to save tires. Geyer, we've seen he can sometimes stay stuck to a certain strategy or a line. Gonna have to figure something out here, but it could also be him seeing what's going on in front of him and just wanting nothing to do with it. I would not blame him.
No, he can see up ahead of him. There's Clausen and Gambrel very close. Joe Amato doesn't have as many starts as the rest of the field, so he might be a tad bit rusty. Geyer known for being a little bit more patient, but yeah, very curious to see him continuing to avoid the top of that new pavement on entry. I'm not sure if that's a strategy of his. Remember, he likes to invent his own strategy. But I see Joe Amato doing the same up ahead of him in that 19. He's also avoiding that newer pavement. So these two, maybe they know something we don't.
It could just be that they liked Old Iowa, and that is still Old Iowa up there. So they might be thinking, well, that's the track I know, so that's where I want to run. I know some people have found a way to make that new pavement or that old pavement work. I very much prefer the newer stuff. I mean, I wish they had never done anything if I had known they had done this, but hey, whatever. But yeah, there you see with the Amato again, trying to make the outside work, but it looks like the exits are just really difficult right now. And on top of that, oh my goodness, look at Sanders and Gambrel. Oh my.
No, yeah, Sanders, Gambrel, they're just getting very close to there. You can see the Tide car trying to go under them. That's that's Brandon. He's back. He's just not showing up on my.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's.
There he is. Yeah, he's Tide. He's back.
The light of God shining on that grill.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. So I'm still curious about these people running that outside lane. We're just going to have to monitor it and maybe do a in-car stealing and just jerk them up here on a caution and say, what the hell are you thinking?
Again. Oh, what a save by the 08.
What a save.
Oh, that was our fault.
That hurt. Was that Gambrel got in the back of him there?
And
again. Don't you do that to Kevin Kyle. You leave Kevin alone.
Oh, Alex Hillman.
What was he just gunning it? Is he unconscious in the ring?
Does he know how much money that just cost me? Like that was a VRN car. We have to pay for that. Jeez, Alex.
That was literally brutal. That looked like an unconscious driver.
It literally looked like it's like that one like famous streamer that where he like actually acts out the wrecks. I think he was legitimately unconscious there.
Yeah, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, we'll see when he gets out of the care center.
Want to see. So Hillman definitely towed. I would imagine that would be the end of his day. And that's why you keep running laps. You know, Brandon Guerin is 6 laps down, but guess what? In 6 laps, he's going to pass Hillman, and he'll be the lucky dog candidate if we have more foolishness. Meanwhile, good racing out on the track. Look at Iverson and Parham. Wow. We're just looking at the same thing. That's awesome, dude. Yep. So Iverson and Parham having a great battle here. And again, look, you know, he comes out a little bit high, exiting off of that new pavement, not what you want to do. But until then, those guys were battling side by side. Iverson, just the ability to stay on that apron and estimate how much speed he can carry rolling through there. Looking good. Iverson in 4th, point racing here today, just trying to make that advance. And if that door opens, hey, why not move up? Speaking of moving up, Lucas Alves, one of his best runs of the year in 3rd. That's where he qualified, right there ahead of Tony Iverson. Good run there by the 115 Chevrolet. Last time, 22.63, little bit quicker than the leader in Applegate in front of him. Wow. Only hundredths of a second, but Alves still putting it down, looking good here on lap 25.
Yeah, we get nerd out about that outside lane all day because the more I'm watching these guys approach it and how they're approaching it, the more I'm starting to think about why and their mentality behind it. So first off, I do think the old pavement could be better for tires depending on how you drive it. there's obviously going to be less grip up there. So if you can get that car on the rear tires, which is easier said than done in a next gen, but if you can do that, you're going to save your front tire, meaning it's going to be easier to turn it, and the inside will be available to you later in the run than it will to others. You obviously get to make the turn less sharp, as you see Tony Iverson try to make the inside work right here against Alves. Never a surprise to see Iverson committed to the bottom. But then another thing I think we're seeing a lot about guys who are kind of getting into the wall on the exit, I think it's that transition point. If you hit the inside just a little bit, or that transition between the new and old pavement, that car just shoots up and suddenly the wall is right next to you. You might see right here with Alves, but you see how committed he is to keeping that car in the pavement all the way up the corner. That's it done properly. But I think that might be why we're seeing cars just drastically shoot up towards the wall, towards the outside the track.
Especially right here coming out of 4.
Yeah.
You can see how it cuts out, and then there he goes. Much better job there, but he didn't have Tony Iverson threatening the slide job underneath him. Looking through this field, guy having a rough day today. How about Kevin Kyle back in 18th spot? Last lap ran a 23:22. That's 0.6 of a second off of what the leader is doing. So Kevin Kyle, I'm not sure if he's got a fuel strategy in mind. What's the telemetry inside that car telling you, Zach? Is he just struggle busing, or what's he doing?
We'll have to look at other cars, but he's not using 5th gear. To me, if you wanted to save gas, you'd keep it in 5th, unless it just bogs down the engine that badly. I'm not seeing any noticeable damage on the car. It doesn't look that miserable to drive, I should say. But yeah, that's very curious. A playoff driver who's going to need stage points when they're available in about 50 laps, or 40 laps, I should say. And then also just wants to be more in control of this race and definitely not risk going a lap down. So going to be really interesting to see what Kevin Kyle is doing here. And I also would not be assuming we're going to get a largely green race here, me and Gene.
Yeah, with them spreading out the way, we'll have to see. Especially, I think all the drivers realize. Little light contact there. I think these drivers realizing that maybe the outside is the way to go to get that clean pass. Because if you try to hug that apron, it's going to be very easy for the car in front of you to slam down, trying to diamond the turn and take you both out. I'll draw your attention to Eric Thornton, Matt Novella, and Sean Walton doing battle right here. This is a perfect situation. Look at Thornton. He will go a little bit high and kind of diamond in. And Novella is threatening that apron. I think that could easily turn into something interesting if they got closer to each other. Meanwhile, that second strategy, make the outside work. Look at Sean Walton not minding, saying, okay, you two dick around down there. I'm going to ride this outside lane. And again, diamond move there by Thornton. Does come across Walton, cost him some speed. Odd man out, though, Novella there. Wouldn't be surprised to see Walton roll this thing around and maybe get by Thornton here pretty soon.
And yeah, just 3 completely different approaches to the racetrack, and it's really fun to watch. You see Sean Walton, and you'll see him kind of drive away a little bit from Novella here, carrying in so much momentum and really able to get on the gas earlier than someone like Novella. There he is driving away on exit as well. And that is a great line that Walton kind of just has rolling there. He's obviously having to deal with the dirty air that Thornton throws up at him on exit, but he's getting a really, really nice and smooth line. And as you see Novella, who is also one of those guys who's incredible at saving tires and also great at using the bottom line, kind of just being very patient on the throttle. He's still off throttle. He's still off. He's still there. He is about 60% through the corner until he's back on. And that Novella, such a good exerciser of patience.
And he's in a much safer position here because he knows that Walton is staying high, and so he can dive down there. When he had Thornton in front of him, he had to be concerned about that diamond maneuver could take them out. Meanwhile, all 3, though, making good lap times because you can see they have pulled up onto the 18 of Justin Parham. Parham was a tad slower, allowing them to catch up. Here goes Walton now peeking on the inside of Thornton. Thornton uses the outside, gets that roll.
In the wall a bit.
Little wild tap. But now it's Thornton, after watching in his rearview mirror what Walton was able to do, trying to employ that same strategy instead of the diming technique. I know his tires are going to appreciate that smoother roll.
Walton is giving Eric Thornton all the room in the world on entry, but he is not caring about Eric Thornton being there on exit, and he shouldn't. Eric Thornton tried to put the squeeze on him, and Walton having none of it, knowing he has the faster race car right there. And there he is completing the pass for 6th place. Walton, on the long run, unsurprisingly, has it rolling. I don't think Parham will take long. Parham has a lot of speed in that 18, but he's been more vulnerable to mistakes than those in front of him. And then Lucas Alves is also slowly rolling back into these guys. Then feel bad we haven't paid too much attention to Jordan Fisher in the lead, or what happened in 2nd place there, as Tony Iverson has actually gotten past Grant Applegate, and he has moved himself into 2nd place. Iverson with a really, really fast car here at Iowa.
Yeah, something must have happened to Grant. I'm looking at the last time there, and they're very similar. So I think Grant must have hit the wall, lost some momentum, and that just kind of let Iverson sneak on by him. Also, little bookkeeping here. It looks like Applegate and Fisher both in that high side hustler chat tonight.
Lots of smoke.
So, yeah, I'm not sure where that came from.
Looks like
Applegate and Fisher, high side hustlers today. Is that Clausen doing things?
Yeah, he was off track. Looks like he got it back together, but oh boy, lots of damage to the front end of Zach Clausen's car. That may be the day for the 43. As he had some incidents earlier in this race, he was in that first caution, and then looks like he, while he was about to get lapped, had some incidents. Luckily, did not involve any of the leaders, but Clausen, the day to forget here, as Sean Walton and Justin Parham putting on a show here. Parham using that outside lane to keep momentum and give Walton just a nightmare of a time getting by him.
Yeah, you know, he's not going to give him that angle that he wants. Both drivers trying to pinch each other. And then here you can see Walton gives him plenty of room coming out. That was a nice gentleman move there. But oh, look at that, so close. You can see the right side tires of Parham go off of that new pavement. That's going to leave a mark. Oh, gets good speed. Woohoo, these two boys are Dyson, Zach.
I mean, for Sean Walton, this is a stratosphere of room that he's leaving Parham, and not that time. Actually, you can't really blame that one on Walton, as Parham is hard on the wall. And Bollinger gets into the rear end of him. So a little bit of damage to the front end of Bollinger. Actually, there is some damage. So we'll have to see if that affects the way that 53 drives. One of the championship contenders currently leading in the points, but no one's locked in. But Sean Walton there, he was giving him a lot of room on entry, more than I think he needed to, honestly, especially with how well he had that outside rolling, but eventually did complete the pass. And there it is. You see Parham kind of slide out of that new asphalt, and it just shoots you up the track almost like Dirty Air does as well. And now it looks like Eric Thornton wants to be the next to get by the 18.
Yeah, that 18 also, after he wiggled that first time when Thornton went by him, it was Matt Novella made a little contact, almost causing the wreck, sending the right front of Parham into the wall, and I think that's going to cost him. Looks like he's still got some decent exit speed, though, but I bet going into those turns is going to be a nightmare. We're on lap number 46 here, scheduled for 140. Stage points will be awarded at the end of lap 70, but there will be no stage break, no caution, so they will drive straight on through, and we'll see who the top 5 will be. Points only awarded to the top 5. No fast repairs either, so ending the day of drivers like Alex Hillman, and now we're keeping an eye on Clausen, who the timer's still running, so maybe he's going to give it a go.
Here we are on board with Justin Parham, and what I want you guys to see here is just look how light this race car is on the exit of corners. He is essentially just holding onto the wheel for dear life as he straightens it out here. You can just see how loose he is all the way up to the wall. Still loose, still trying to get that thing underneath him. Ooh. He is dealing with a handful right now, so props to him for being as fast as he still is. As you see Matt Novella and Bollinger going at it right now, and this is for a spot in the top 6, as Alves has actually gotten passed by Sean Walton, who is just making a hard charge up front right now. Walton all the way up to 4th. Next up for him would be Grant Applegate. Oh, big hit.
All right, I hear on the radio Applegate saying he's going to bring it in,
Novella's
so it seems like it's time for some pit stops. Maybe try the short pit technique. Oh, somebody came sliding in.
That looked like it was Brandon Karen. He's already had an eventful day, has he not, in the Tide car right there. And then behind that, so let's keep our eye on Applegate. Here comes Grant Applegate. He is coming in hot. Oh, boy. We'll have to see what the NASCAR officials have to say about that. He came in super, super hot, but he may have gotten it slowed down in time. And like we always say, those ones that look that sketchy are oftentimes the fastest ones.
Yeah, we were used to seeing the 53 do that constantly, where he slides in and then magically is just lined up perfectly. Oh, hard hit by the commissioner there. Ooh.
Oh, man, that was nearly into Tony Iverson, one of the championship contenders. The commission having a really hard time navigating that car around this track right now. Oh, boy. It looks like a lot of trouble just scattered around this racetrack right now. Lucas Alb's going to bring it down. Alb's having a really, really good day. I think a season best day so far, so hopefully he can keep this one clean. And Jordan Fisher, our leader, going to bring it into the pits, and looks like maybe some trouble behind him. Yeah.
Was that Kevin Kyle?
Or was that Eric Thornton, or was that Kevin Kyle? Trying to find out for you. Oh, that was Hunter Hall. That was Hunter Hall. Looks like he got it in safe. This pit entrance has not been easy for anyone.
No.
And here comes Tony Iverson. Maybe he's very gingerly going to bring it in. I think he's seen some things as Iverson next to bring it down. And you can see why it's so difficult from that camera angle. Just a really sharp turn at the very end there does not make it easy, as Walton now has enough fuel allegedly to leave it out here. So Walton doing a great job. Behind him is going to be Bollinger. And there's the difference between tires right there as Brendan Guerin blows the doors off of Sean Walton.
Yeah, I don't think it's got 18 more laps of fuel in that thing to make it to the stage. But hey, why not run it long? There's been a lot of interesting events out in front of you. And at the moment, you're going to have everybody who's pitted a lap down. So why not push it? Colin Bollinger behind him also has that freedom. Remember, Colin came in on lap number 4, took a little bit of fuel, so he can go a little bit longer than Sean Walton, making it work. But drivers of note right now that are trying to push it, not taking tires yet, not taking fuel. Walton, Bollinger, Thornton, Dalton Geyer also has stayed out on the track, as well as Kevin Kyle. So playoff drivers, they're trying a different strategy, and they're following the strategy of Colin Bollinger. Not a bad guy to emulate.
And I'd assume if you could run this, I don't know, 10 more laps, if we don't know how much fuel exactly these guys have, but you could probably change the dynamic of your entire pit strategy and do something entirely different than the rest of the field if this was to stay green. So there's a lot on the table for these drivers by running a strategy like this. So this is certainly interesting. And Walton is not super slow by any means. I mean, they're losing a lot of time, about a second a lap, but for a long run car, he is lights out fast.
Last lap, 24.4. Best lap for him, 22.96.
Looks like it might be this time. It is for Walton. So not Bollinger, but Walton will bring it down. Oh, yeah, Walton.
Oh, that was a late smoker.
Yeah, a little bit of a Tokyo drift action there. We'll have to see if that was a clean exit, or entrance, I should say. I don't see any speeding penalties yet, Mean Gene. So hopefully none there for Walton, and I'm assuming Bollinger no more than 1 or 2 more laps.
It looks like Hunter Hall was in there for an extended stay, but we could probably attribute that to a little bit of repair, even though he did run a 23.24 that last lap, so only about 1/100th of a second off. His fastest was Hunter Hall, but he is currently 4 laps down. Rough go there for Hunter Hall, but looks like he's got that car repaired and back on the straight and narrow.
And there goes the driver who will likely inherit the lead of this race when this all cycles through, and that's Grant Applegate. He actually put Jordan Fisher behind him through that pit stop. It was only a 2-lap difference, Applegate coming in 2 laps earlier, and that was enough to undercut both Fisher and Iverson. So now we get to see the inverse of this, is that if this stays green, I think Bollinger likely going to bring it down this time. He couldn't last lap. He had Applegate to his inside, but no, he's going to continue to leave it out, and he's teaching us a lot right now. 60 laps, and the majority of them under green flag conditions, and Bollinger still out here rolling. Same with Gambrill, Geyer, and I guess Kevin Kyle maybe was up to something. Maybe they're trying to get to 70.
Maybe. Remember, Colin and Kevin, both of those did come in and pit on lap number
Bollinger.
4, so they had a little bit extra fuel, whereas Gambrill did not, and he as well is going to come in. Dalton Geyer going to push it 1 more lap. Looks like he's chasing points. Geyer will take over the lead and get the points for leading a lap. Hopefully he's got enough fuel in that bad boy to get around to the pit this time.
Looks like Kevin Kyle does as well. He's not going to, excuse me, lead a lap,
it's
but
Kevin's turn.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's his turn. He's like, okay, Geyer, you pit, and I'll lead a lap.
Exactly. All right, you got yours. It's my turn now. And then Geyer is going to bring it down. Oh, bring it in a little bit hot there, Dalton. Oh, that looked... I mean, I've been wrong every time, but that looked fast. Bollinger,
and there it is. Kevin Kyle gets his points.
Yeah,
Kyle's like, yeah, way to go, KK.
And there is Bollinger at the 15.6 second pit stop, a slightly slow pit stop for the 53 crew there, and you can see that along with how long he left that 53 out there, costing him some time here. So we have to keep a close eye on these guys. If they don't make any forward progression, then they are absolutely trying to make this a one-stopper and not pit again, and now is when you save.
Well, it's going to be hard. I mean, look at the time differential. Kevin Kyle still trying to make it work.
He's still out there.
Applegate is only 7.5 seconds behind him and a full second a lap faster. So it's hard to do that math while you're driving and think to yourself, okay, a second a lap, 24 laps, I'm going to go a lap down. Oh, but I'm gonna save 47 laps, so that means it's just blah. You know, I'm not Joe Vulpes, I'm not an accountant. Right. I'm not going to do that math. But you really have to think to yourself, yay, I'm pushing this pit stop, but boo, the leader's 6 seconds behind me now.
So Kevin Kyle is still out there, though. I mean, if you run a strategy like what KK is, and we are on board with him right now, you have to not care about any other car on track with you. You're essentially running your time
committed.
Trial. Yeah.
You're on the USS David Owens right now, and you just have to pray that your math is mathing.
I mean, it's close to math, and he is 5 laps away from knowing he can make it. We get to see the lights coming on from the onboard of Kevin Kyle. That's always a moment that scares every single driver on track.
Bleep, bleep. Yep, and you get a little bit of bleepy, bleepy.
But just look
Meanwhile, look at those drivers all getting their laps back. Slowly. Meanwhile, there are 11 cars on the lead lap with Kevin Kyle, who has yet to pit. Kevin just pushing this thing out, hugging that apron as best he can.
Not this time either.
Bollinger gonna get back on there. No,
he could win the stage here too, Mean Gene. He is 3 laps away from winning the stage.
Well, if he can make it 3 laps, he's got that 4.5 second lead.
This is pretty insane. Kevin Kyle.
And but there is no stage break.
There is no stage break, but there is stage points that would be huge for him, barely on the outside looking in 5th place for the round of 4.
Wow,
that would put
what
him
a
in.
strat. I mean, this dude is throwing it deep. You have to appreciate somebody taking such a chance. Just needs to make it a couple of more laps. The gap is we're starting to see
plateauing.
That breakdown. Yeah, we're starting to see the tire degradation
that helps.
Of the cars behind him. As you know, they pitted back on 49, did Grant Applegate. So he's put 19 laps on those tires. Tires starting to show a little bit of wear as he's running slower laps.
2 more.
Kevin, yeah, if Kyle can make this go. Now, let me ask, is this one of those funny tracks where because if he pits on 69, he'll get past.
Right.
He has to actually make it to 70 and then bring it all the way around.
White flag for the stage right here. So, yeah, and you're right. He's going to have to bring it to 71 and go all the way around. Because, yeah, he will not win the stage in the pits on this lap. He would absolutely not. It's 1.5 more times around for Kevin Kyle to win the stage and get, is it 10? I believe huge points. I think he gets stage points regardless. 5. I think he gets stage points regardless, but he's going to have enough, and he holds on to the lead. Kevin Kyle, stage winner at Iowa with a brilliant strategy that nobody else has the fuel to do.
Nope. Grant Applegate went ahead, took 2nd. Jordan Fisher 3rd. Fisher gets by Applegate almost immediately in turn 1 on that lap. Tony Iverson came home 4th, and Sean Walton 5th. So playoff drivers in 3 of the top 5 spots. Kevin Kyle, what a move. Hopefully he's got the gas to get in there, and we'll just have to see the kind of damage that is done. But again, when everyone pits, this guy's on his last pit stop.
Yeah. And that saves you, I'm looking, that saves you 50 seconds. So we'll do some math as this cycles through. I think it'll become very clear to us once these guys, Jordan Fisher, Grant Applegate, and Tony Iverson, do their pit stops. There's some more smoke. I wonder why.
Well, who is that?
Oh, that's Hunter Hall has gone around. Hunter Hall has gone around and towed. He went in for a spin onto the inside grass. I think Hunter Hall was dealing with some damage there because that car was just looking all types of not right. But Hall looks to be out of this race.
Looks like Joe Amato also having a little bit of difficulty. Been in the pits for 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, we do the math. He saves, 48 seconds. It takes 24 seconds to go around the track.
He's 1 lap down.
He was 1 lap down. He's going to go another lap down.
No, he's on track.
That's 48.
1 lap down.
I know, but when they pit again,
Yeah, you're right. He will.
and come back around, they're going to catch him again.
Woof, it's close. It's going to be close.
It's going to be like 1 second.
Yeah, it's essentially what we just saw at DDIRL between myself and Calgill. Completely different things going on, and then you end up after a long race neck and neck. It's pretty amazing how that works, but I mean, at the very least,
if it went down like that, Jordan Fisher would catch him with 1 lap to go.
Oh my God! And then all he has to do is hold him off.
Yeah, and then Kyle has to just start blocking. That's going to be psycho.
Look at Tony Iverson.
Speaking of blocking, here we go. Fisher and Iverson. Tony's been working a great deal with Jordan recently with the Fish Speed Discord channel. So a couple of guys very familiar with each other. Grant Applegate right behind them. So those 3 guys all within 0.7 of a second of each other doing battle. Brandon Guerin in that tied 57. Doesn't want a piece of that. Here we go. Iverson looking up high. Gonna duck down low, go to his traditional apron.
Wow.
But that's still gonna let Fisher hug that second lane on that new pavement. Behind them, Grant Applegate bringing it. So good running up here. Then you go a little bit further back. Sean Walton is running a nice, comfortable 4th, 5 seconds back of the leaders, but 4.5 seconds ahead of Joe.
Here comes another run for Iverson.
Oh, he's peeking.
Here goes the inside. He's getting amazing runs through 1 and 2. Iverson clearly has the fastest long run car. It looks to be in the entire field. He drove all the way up to this position from 11th in the first stint, and now here he is challenging for the lead, and he has this track figured out, especially through 1 and 2. Look at how good he is in the middle. He's good at entry, and he's even better on exit. He is not weak anywhere. Fisher trying to figure him out, use the dirty air to his advantage. I think he knows if he lets that 13 past them, he's going to sail away.
Yeah, Tony Iverson looks like he's got the middle of this run all figured out. Hopefully long run speed as well. Fisher making the use of that dirty air, but he has got that 13 knocking on the door behind him. Looks like Colin is going to get by Joe Volpus. Great battle there by the 11 and the 53. 53 using that outside lane.
Caution,
does make that pass as well. Caution underway.
Oh, we got a yellow
Looks
flag.
like Looks like not safe from Farmer.
Oh, no.
Matt Novella victimized by Farmer.
Here's our replay, me and Gene.
Let's see what happens. Oh, no.
It's Eric
Who was that?
Thornton. It's Eric Thornton. And then, a massive hit. And Matt Novella, a playoff driver for Daily Drivers Inc., may be done.
Oh. Wow. At least it was in a good spot. It was in a good spot, right in the door.
It wasn't in the no-no spot. And this flips everything upside down for Kevin Kyle. Who knows what's about to happen while we wait for this to happen. I will be right back, me and Jaden, and feel free to talk about, I don't know, wedding pictures?
Hey, want to be a big shout out to our sponsor, of course, Chantilly Lace Photography. They are our sponsor all year long here on Monday Night Mayhem. Chantilly Lace Photography, more than just weddings. These guys do an entire family experience for you. You want to do engagement pictures. You want to do wedding photos. You have a special event, theater, sports. These guys can handle all of those for you, as well as planning it out, setting up the set pieces, props, lighting. This is what these people do. 3 locations on the East Coast, Charleston and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, as well as Savannah, Georgia. Ability to travel, over 40 employees, 20 plus years of experience. Chantilly Lace Photography. Call them up, ask for Brandon or Krista Guerin. They are there for you and your family. Design your album, and you will have a keepsake for your family for generations to come. Chantilly Lace. Thank you so much for our sponsorship this year, making all of this action possible. Most recent action on the track we saw as Novella and Thornton got together. Looks like maybe Thornton helped Novella go around. Novella hits the wall, and then in comes Zach Clausen at serious speed right into the side, T-bone away. And we'll just have to keep track and see what's going to happen with Matt Novella. But again, you know what? This is why you grind. Matt Novella, Brandon Guerin, 8 laps down, but guess what? In 6 more laps, he's going to pass Matt Novella, and he'll be in 15th. So keep grinding.
Never give up.
And he's right now being shown as the car right behind the pace car. So I think he's might even be getting a wave around here.
Yeah, he is going to get another one. So I think the guy that this affects the most, Mean Gene, has got to be Kevin Kyle. He had a great strategy figured out, but what he needed was for this race to stay green, and here he is pitting. I think he may stay trapped a lap down here. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to figure that out once we go back to green, but Kevin Kyle had it figured out. But I do want to say one thing. We were talking a lot about if that strategy was going to win him the race or not, and one thing that kind of dawned on me is I don't even think he cared that much if it was going to win the race or not. He had won the stage. If it had gotten him second place, that's a big day. He's taking home as many points as the winner, and that's what you need to do in this stage in the playoffs. So this is going to be totally upside down for Kevin Kyle. He's going to get his butt out of the pits.
I think he's on the lead lap.
He must be.
I think he's going to stay on the lead lap.
But he's got to go because we're about to go green, and he is just now exiting.
Well, you know, he'll make his way around.
But he is on the lead lap. You are correct.
Nice. So it looks like Novella stays in the pits. A lot of sadness there for the 56.
Green flag.
Green flag. Away we go. Good jump there by Fisher. Applegate's going to stay with him. And then on the inside, Tony Iverson. Those were the top 3 drivers that we saw. Look at the speed of Applegate on the outside. Great momentum. Fisher says, oh, I've got 5th gear too, pal. And away we go with some good racing. Applegate coming in late on the... Oh, look at Novella come out onto the track very late, merging with those cars, creating a 3 wide. That 56 is not healthy, Zach. This is going to be crazy.
Oh, he looks like he's sideways entering the corner a little bit. Novella able to keep it underneath him, but that 56, not healthy at all. I think Novella just desperate to get on the track just in case Akasha comes out, not wanting to go too many laps down. And oh man, it looks like it could as Steve Lewis overshoots the corner straight into Geyer up front. It is pure insanity between Fisher, Applegate, and Iverson. These guys have been the class of the field, and of course, Colin Bollinger here to join the party.
Colin did lead 40 laps last year in Iowa, won the stage at Iowa, just caught up in some insanity. Hopefully he's clear of
gets
that.
turned. Geyer into oh man, I think we're gonna stay green, and that's about
rubber.
The best place to hit. Yeah, it does. It still looks shiny over there. It looks like it just came out of the car wash. Geyer's gonna keep it rolling. He's gonna lose all types of track position, but he got straight up turn.
Wow, very unfortunate turn of events there. No pun intended for Dalton Geyer.
And here comes Bollinger.
The narrow, but Bollinger gets by Iverson using that outside lane. Look at the exit speed of Applegate. Yeah, these 4 guys not concerned now. We're on lap number 89, scheduled for 140. So, hey, I can put 51 laps in if Kevin Kyle can put in 70.
I personally also don't think it's visually obvious when the cars are going faster, and this is one of those times where it absolutely is. Look at these guys. They're just shipping it into the corner and just somehow making it stick. All of them are driving uncomfortable. All of them are nearly hitting the wall on exit. This is unbelievable how hard all 4 of these guys are driving. If you're Eric Thornton right there in 5th kind of watching this, I'm thinking back it down, baby. You might end up with a great situation 20 laps time as Applegate's going to look to the inside.
Applegate wanting to pass, does make the move. Look at Fisher go back. What a crossover.
What a move by Fisher. He definitely read that a little bit by Applegate. He just shipped it in the inside so hard, did the 14 of Applegate. Fisher reads it, gets the crossover. That's the second time Fisher has defended that way in this race. He is just so hard to beat, Mean Gene.
Here we go. Now Colin thinking about it. The 14 of Applegate. It's also Fisher seems to be changing the line that he's choosing every time, making it a little bit harder. Here comes Colin, going to poke his nose. He's at the quarter. He's at the door. He's on the apron. Let's see what kind of exit speed Applegate can put together, though, holding off the charge of the 53. Wow, what these 4 dudes are bringing it. Now, Eric Thornton, little bit slower than these guys, about 1/10 of a second a lap. But like you said, he might be just playing it calm. He just had that run-in with Novella, so his heart might still be pounding a little bit.
He might still be trying to calm himself down, get his heart rate down. Man, I thought Applegate was going to let Bollinger go there and just say, you know what, you try that, because I can't figure out how to get past this 39, so you do it, and maybe follow him through. But instead, Applegate, he really wants these positions, and also he needs these points. He has not visited victory lane yet. He has not gotten to move on to a round. He's had to do everything the hard way, and now he's trying to get himself a shot at this championship, and this is as good of a chance as any Applegate has had this season. And the caution's out.
Caution. No, caution, Austin.
Looks like Joseph Amato may have had an issue.
Novella's still rolling.
Somehow.
Yeah, Amato sideways.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the replay. Here's the 19 of Amato. Not often we get to see this guy anymore on Monday night, so it's always great to see him, but maybe not as fresh on the next gen as he once was, as he just gets a little bit loose out of 4 into the wall, and Novella, and Louis got into him a little bit, did the 88. Doesn't look like that was too bad a damage. I think Louis just doing his responsibility of making sure he always does that.
Yeah, you got to clip him. Louis, again, needs a good run here today. Hunter Hall and Steve Lewis are tied for the Best of the Rest championship. So those two guys in contention, needing a good run. Hunter Hall, of course, is currently 11 laps down. So Louis needs to make it work. Yeah, I think, again, after the way you just ran, this is just going to get you that much closer to the end. I think it'll, yeah, here we go. You got a few guys coming in. Why not if you're in the middle of the pack?
Dalton Geyer. Few playoff drivers here.
But those guys up front, I think track position is that important. You can see top 9 guys stay out. Eric Gambrell, first one to come in, was running in 10th, and then just sets off a domino effect of Sanders, Lewis, Kyle, Geyer. And I would imagine we're going to see a couple of those guys take some hard looks at their car. Steve Lewis, that right front. Scary moment.
Yeah, here we go on pit exit. Looks like first out is going to be Amato. And then we got Gambrell, Lewis. Looked like that was a quick service, maybe just making sure there was no significant damage there. Matt Novella going to get more damage fixed, or maybe park it. I think Novella may have... Oh, no, there is Matt Novella. Never saying die. Dalton Geyer going to come back out here. Hopefully he didn't get too much damage from that incident he had. But yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on everyone 10th on back. Is going to have a difference. A lot of them just took fuel. Looks like Kevin Kyle. I'm not sure if he had damage or if he wanted tires, but Kevin Kyle was in there for 17 seconds.
Dalton Geyer was in there for 22 seconds, but he left the pit earlier than he could have if he was trying to get maximum repair done.
Interesting.
So I'm thinking he probably had needed a little bit of repair, but not a ton. He could have stayed in there for another 10 seconds easily without anything happening.
Okay.
Steve Lewis only came in for the fuel, so obviously no bad damage for the 88. Good job on his part. 14 drivers on the lead lap. Matt Novella, first guy that's laps down and currently finds himself 2 laps down. So Novella, the recipient of the lucky dog, only 2 laps down, needs a little bit more activity to get it back. And hey, Brandon Guerin continuing to grind, 7 laps down, but still rolling.
Yeah, none of the leaders pitting there, so no laps back to be found, including for Novella. He does look like he'll be the lucky dog for every caution in this point on, so I think we'll go green with about 42 to go. So Novella, it is certainly not over for the 56th daily driver, Zinc Shark Reaper. But beyond that, I wonder what we're going to see from the top 4 again. You'll have Fisher in the lead as the control car, Applegate second, Tony Iverson third, and Bollinger fourth. Or, I'm sorry, switch Bollinger and Iverson. But these 4 are just a class of the field here at Iowa and showing why they are the championship favorites. Well, besides Fisher, who would have been.
They stayed out. The top 8 did stay out. And then behind them, you had some guys come in, but it was only for a little touch-up. Nobody clearly took tires on that last pit stop, except maybe Novella. No, I bet Novella was just repairing that thing even some more. So everybody's still on that same set of tires back on lap number 81. So 17 or so laps have been ran on these tires. So I expect to see some good racing for about 15 more laps.
Keep your eye on Kevin Kyle.
Green flag.
Jordan
Green flag.
Fisher, away we go. He's the 39 on the outside lane. Got that
wow.
Ford in great position. Iverson behind him on the outside, and that's Applegate on the inside apron in second. Iverson letting it roll, the 13 and the 14 side by side. Wow, he actually caught up to Fisher immediately and now looks to roll it again. Hey, it works so good, Colin Bollinger going to take it. Behind them, look at the mess. Joe Volpis, single car, and then Walton and Eric Thornton side by side. Lots of battling going on for the top 7 positions. Good roll there by Walton. Great racing here late at Iowa.
A great restart there from the 13 of Tony Iverson, able to move into second place, and now all he has in front of him is Jordan Fisher. It's his turn to see if he can figure out some magic on the 39. Teammates almost getting together over in 5th place. Joseph Volpis and Thornton almost coming together to 1 and 2 about a lap ago. And oh my goodness, a little bit of a boop there by Tony Iverson. It's going to kill all his momentum. He's going to try to throw a block on Bollinger, but nope, we're going 3 wide whether he likes it or not.
Colin Bollinger going to hug that apron side by side with Tony Iverson. 3rd and 4th place on the line. Ahead of them, Applegate 2nd, and leading the pack, Jordan Fisher here on lap 101. 40 laps to go. Should have enough fuel to make it. Tires relatively fresh. This thing wide open. And now Joe Volpis, and here comes Sean Walton into the picture.
And Bollinger and Iverson playing defense while somehow also playing offense at the same time, trying to peek to the inside of Grant Applegate, but he's also doing that to try to hold Bollinger behind him. Bollinger just showing his nose every chance he gets. Behind that, you have Volpis and Walton just going so hard. Sean Walton trying to go to where I believe he thinks he belongs. He has been so fast today, just has not had strategy go his way, but he has a car capable of winning this race. Getting a little bit single file behind them. No real forward progression from guys like Kevin Kyle, who we thought might be on fresh tires, but still relegated to around 13th place.
Yep, side by side, Iverson and Applegate still battling for second, creating a roadblock that Colin Bollinger just cannot get by at the moment. That's allowing Sean Walton to slowly creep back into the picture. Walton showed early speed, and now we're seeing him back on the trail. Finally, Iverson gets by Applegate, brings Colin Bollinger with him. It's now Fisher, Iverson. Bollinger completes the pass, then Applegate. Top 3 of the top 4 all battling for playoff spots.
Just insane how fast this track has gotten and how hard these guys are pushing. There it is right there as Bollinger grazes the wall and exit. We're going to have to get used to seeing that for this last 35 laps as these guys are putting it all on the line. Tony Iverson right now, he needs to focus on not getting ahead of himself. He's been so good on the long run this race. He has enough time to where that will come back to him if he doesn't use too much stuff up right now, trying to stick with Jordan or trying to keep calm behind him. He needs to prioritize that tire wear. Behind them, look at Walton and Applegate mixing it up.
Last lap, Iverson about 1/10 of a second faster than Applegate, than Fisher, now that he has the cleaner air in front of him. Meanwhile, Applegate still trending the wrong way as John Walton, sneaks right by him. And now Joe Volpis is going to take a little peek underneath. Wonder what's happening in that 14 cockpit as he just falls the wrong way. A little bit further back, how about the run of Jack Sanders? Jack started around 9th, and now here he is making a great run in 8th place, trying to close the gap. Got the lap driver of Brandon Guerin as a buffer between him and Parham, and then Lucas Alves rounding out the top 10. Lucas, good run early on, but now finds himself caught up in the soup.
Eric Thornton ultra loose. Can he save it? He's going to have to be calm when he gets back on this track. This car is not going to be underneath him. Great job by Eric Thornton right there. As you saw that, Lucas Alves definitely got nervous about that one right there, as Eric Thornton's going to slot back in, but with a massive loss of position, he may have been in one of the better situations in that lead pack, and now he finds himself all the way down to 10th, potentially around some cars with fresher tires than him. And one thing I'm thinking is that did happen due to a little mix-up with him and Applegate. We're seeing Applegate graze that outside wall nearly every lap coming out of 4. I'm wondering if maybe he had one too many hits and there is some damage finally on that 14.
It is possible. He is one of those rail riding drivers that has contact with the outside wall. At some point, you have to think it could come back and haunt him.
There it is again. See what I'm talking about?
Running. Oh,
that was a big one.
Yeah, that one had to hurt. So you can see he's starting to plow up the track just a little bit. going to have to adjust his speed, and that's going to make him susceptible to a pass.
Board.
You can see Justin Parham bringing it up.
Let's see how bad this 14 is driving for Applegate. It looks like it's a handful from the outside. Let's see what the inside
Right there,
looks
look
like.
at that.
Yeah, the thing is so free. If we thought Parham earlier in this race was bad, this looks a heck of a lot worse. As he's actually one of the few guys looks to be using 5th gear too, shifting down into 4th on the entry of 1 right there. 1 and 2 does seem to be a little bit easier for him, but this 3 and 4 is where it just looks like it's a different adventure every lap, Mean Gene.
Yeah, especially the way he rides it high, because you can see that new pavement just ends, and once it does, yeah, nothing.
Holding on
He's
to
trying to
6th
close
place
it
right
on
now,
Vulpes,
though. He is.
Yeah, he's about the same speed as Vulpes. They're all running about 24s. Top 4 drivers running sub 24. That's Fisher, Iverson, Bollinger, Walton. And then after that, you got some guys running around the 24. And then Sanders and Parham, look at that. Those guys down in the 23s as well. So good speed. Everybody right around the same amount of speed. So track position and choosing the correct angle, staying on the fresh pavement, gonna be vital here. And then if you're somebody like Brandon Guerin, you got to be disappointed that you had that issue at the beginning, because this guy's been running with the top 10 cars all night.
Yeah, this is always so frustrating when you're laps down by an issue that looked like it was not in his control at all, and you're mixing up with the top guys, which is just telling you something you didn't want to know, which is, oh boy, we brought a fast race car to Iowa today, didn't we? And we can't do anything with it. So unfortunate for Guerin, but the one thing and the reason why he's likely staying out there, you never become a worse driver by driving around Iowa 140 times.
No, you're definitely going to learn something every time you come visit the cornfield. Other update, Matt Novella, a little bit off the pace, probably 0.4 of a second. Got to start worrying about where that leader is 2 laps down, doesn't want to go further down. So Matt Novella needing to get it back in there, maybe get a little bit more damage repaired on that car. Other drivers that we're paying attention to, Dalton Geyer still on the lead lap, but he blinked out, and I have no idea where he went.
That's what you get for talking about him. There he is.
There he goes. Just went by Lewis.
And I believe that maybe who got into him to initially give him that damage, but Geyer has just not had it today. Has not had any speed in that 36. Has been kind of in the back all day, along with Kevin Kyle, 2 playoff drivers who needed much better days. But Kevin Kyle had a strategy behind him, and it looks like Lucas Alves may have an issue right here as Alves slow down the the front stretch, I should say. Just look at that difference in corner entry for him and Geyer. Alves may have gotten real nice into the wall at a 4 there, allowed Kevin Kyle to get the space there. As you see that 115 still not driving properly, and also another guy that's still bleeding positions is the 1 of Eric Thornton.
Yeah, the Thornton, Kyle, and Alves were all 3 wide for just a moment. Looks like Kyle made it through the cleanest. Alves, maybe he's getting this thing back together, still plowing up. Look at him on the old pavement. And then Thornton as well. Remember, he had that little scare that pushed him down into 10th place, losing another position. So Thornton still not able to get that pony under control. Might need a few of these guys might need a little quick tune-up in there. Ooh, look at that. Look at the 46 of Gambrel doing battle right there with Sanders and Kyle. Those 3 are making it spicy.
Kevin Kyle finally starting to make some of that forward progression. He's going to look to the inside of Sanders here. That's a teammate of his, and then likely try to make the pass on Gambrel. That would move him into 8th place, which is, again, with that stage win, going to end up being a great day for Kevin Kyle. But yeah, this has fallen, especially with how much this race has fallen apart for so many of our playoff drivers. As Kevin Kyle gets in too deep. He gets in too deep, gets into Gambrel. Gambrel keeps it together. Kyle as well. Good job by both drivers there as Kyle just way too deep into the turn 1. Both drivers able to get away scot-free for the most part. Behind them, tons of action. You see Geyer going at it right there with the 115 of Alves behind them. Steve Lewis still going at it. And I'm sure Alves in a world of pain right now. Had such a strong race car. Was racing up front in the top 2 early on. And he's in that brutal part, I think, of your iRacing career, Mean Gene, where you're finding out it's one thing to be fast and it's another thing to finish a race up front. And there's a reason why the top 4 right now just always seem to find their way up to the top 5 when we're at this point in the race. Alves is a very, very close way away from doing that. It just, it's a good sign when you're doing what that 115 did today. It's a very good sign.
It is, and I think when, as far as like a short run goes, in theory, we're 1 caution and a re-rack away from being right back into that situation. But this extended green flag run just allows a lot of other things to come in. The equation gets larger, and that's when you start seeing those guys that are running the long runs. They're sharing the telemetry, they're sharing the data, and those two guys happen to be Fisher and Iverson, working in that Fish Speed Discord, and that's who your leader is. Fisher has pushed that lead to 0.9 of a second over Tony Iverson. Colin Bollinger, our points leader, feeling good about third place, but you know he doesn't want to see Fisher get another win and get 6 on the year to his 4. So Colin has other things he's running for. Behind him, Team Delusional teammate of Bollinger, Sean Walton. Sean had a great week last week at Talladega, finishing in 3rd. We've seen plenty of top 5s out of that 6-7. So here he is at Iowa again. One of your quicker cars is Sean Walton, waiting to see if he can close that gap on the boys in front of him. Joe Volpus moved into the top 4 behind him again, putting on a show with the top 5 position. Grant Applegate milking it. Seems like that parachute has slowed his fall. And then look at, after that, it gets into the hornet's nest. Gambrel, Kyle, that's Joe Amato in that 19. He's a few laps down, but he don't give a what. He's just going to send it.
Yeah, it's a totally different race back here, is it not? And if we get a caution, I think we know where it's going to be. Up front, though, I did talk about 20 laps ago that if Iverson can show some patience, keep those tires underneath him, that it would come back around. And I think that's starting to happen, me and Gene. The past 3 laps, Tony Iverson has been slightly faster than Fisher. I mean, 13 laps is not a lot of time to do it, but if he can tighten those gaps up, if he can get it down to maybe 100th a lap instead of 1,000th, then this will be possible. You can even see visually he is getting closer to the 39 of Fisher.
Inching away. We said it was a second, then we said it was 9/10, and now it's 0.88, 87, 86. It's moving, trying to close that gap. Behind him, Bollinger running, all 3 of those guys running around at 22.6, so nobody getting an advantage yet. Walton behind them running about 0.2 of a second slower, so he's fading back. And you know, Applegate, maybe that car is finally coming back to him. He's running the same lap times as your 3 leaders. I'm still fascinated by what's happening back here with this second group. They've spread out a little bit. Gambrel ahead of Kyle, ahead of Thornton, but now here comes Parham and Lucas Alves trying to find some late run speed. And look who's trying to sneak up into the top 10. Is that you, boy?
Yeah, Dalton Guy are coming alive late.
He's sneaking.
Look at that.
Look, he's finally on the new asphalt.
He's like, oh wow, there is grip down here.
It works there, Dalton.
Who would have thunk it?
This guy.
Geyer sends it in deep there. Yeah, whenever it seems that these guys are getting stretched out, someone does what Geyer and Alves just did and just puts on 2 heaters right there. Iverson had it down to 0.7, back up to 0.8. He needs to, I mean, these next 9 laps, they need to be more than perfect if he wants to even have a chance at Fisher, because catching him is going to be one thing, and then you got to get by him. And those 2, I mean, unfortunately, I think for Iverson, have become quite close friends in the past few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not a bad guy to hit your wagon, too, especially with the amount of knowledge and data available in that pit stall. Also, you've got Thornton in there and Applegate. So those 4 guys all in Discord together.
Oh, Alves in the wall.
No, Lucas, it ain't so. That's going to let Dalton get by, though. And all of a sudden, you boys
top 10. Dalton Geyer, why do I ever question this man? I mean, he's beaten me more times than I can count. I don't know why I act like I know better. And he does this.
Alves in the wall.
Oh, no. Can they keep it straight? Alves, I think, has some significant damage on the 115. Hopefully nothing too crazy happens here into 1. Oh, we're not done yet up front. Oh, no.
What are you doing, Louie? Get him, Louie.
Woo. You know Fisher does not want to see this, and all of the
Farm
fish heads
wiggling.
watching at home do not want to see this. Oh, boy, these guys are going hard.
Oh, and those drivers are live. Like, that's lead lap drivers.
Yeah, they gotta
Lewis,
go.
Geyer, all those fellas. Those would be big. Behind them, you can see that's Jack Sanders. And then that's John Beverly running in that general lease scheme there. He is a few laps down. And, well, looks like Matt Novella finally is going to get pulled in. Fisher slowly closing that gap on him. Novella 2 laps down, needed something to happen. But here we are with only 5 laps to go, looking shallow for the hopes of Matt Novella.
Yeah, I think Novella parking it because the laps to get back in the lead lap simply aren't there anymore for him, as the cautions would not help him enough to likely get back in the lead lap, so it doesn't want to be any storyline if something was to happen late in this race.
He's got to do 2 more he's got to do at least 1 more though to stay ahead of Brandon.
Ooh, so he's going to want to do that, as Fisher has really gapped Iverson. So Iverson clearly gave it everything he had. It looks like he ran out of steam a little bit, probably used up some tire, and I'm sure the dirty air not helpful at all. Doubt we'll hear about that in the interviews, but 3 to go for Jordan Fisher to win his 1,000th race of the season.
Yeah, Jordan Fisher picked up win number 5 at Talladega last week, looking for win number 6 here at Iowa. Has to feel good. It's been a great day for the 39. All of the data coming together. When your talent comes together with your strategy, that's what you see. The only guy that tried to throw that curveball, Kevin Kyle, interesting strategy, won the stage. Would have been an interesting. They'd be catching each other right about now had it stayed green.
You need to have a top 5.
Yeah, but here it is. Jordan Fisher about to come around, taking that white.
Oh, Gambrel. Oh, Gambrel
Don't
into the
do
wall.
it, Eric.
Gambrel into the wall, and this is a spot for Kevin Kyle, though. Gambrel going to try to get that 46 back underneath him. It's going to be the white flag this time around. Jordan Fisher with a 1.3 second lead. Eyes on Kevin Kyle for a very big 6th place finish for himself. Let's see if he can get to the inside of Gambrel here. Nice
Jordan
exit
Fisher
by
coming out of 4. All clear in front of him. Jordan Fisher gonna win his 6th win of the year here at Iowa. Congratulations to the number 39. 6 wins on the year here. The 2nd race in the round of 8. Second place
Gambrel
gonna
spins! And Kevin Kyle
Eric.
does get the spot.
Wow. And here comes Thornton, says, I'll take a spot. Why not?
Wow. Let's see if that was all on his own or if he got any help here. We'll take a quick look at this. Kevin Kyle, again, this is a big place for the 29 driver. He needs this, especially with that stage win here today. He can come out of here with the lion's share of points to the inside of Gambrel. Touches him. Gambrel into the wall, or Gambrel loose and into the wall. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I think Gambrel came down a little bit harder than he wanted. You're late in a tire run, and those things just gonna happen. So big move there, though, as far as Kevin Kyle's.
Watch him go to the
necessary
championship by 1 point. Me and Gene, watch him go to the championship by 1 point, and we'll be talking about that.
Ooh, yeah, stage win and came home in 7th. Good day for him. But up front, Jordan Fisher, champion here today at Iowa, picks up 6th win of the year. Again, Fisher not in playoff contention, stepped to the side with his job obligation, but would be in the championship after his 2 wins, back-to-back, Talladega and Iowa. There's Tony Iverson down there celebrating with him, looking to get that picture, but Colin doesn't want to be in it. He's in the pits. He's disconnected. He's done. Colin Bollinger going to finish 3rd here. Great run by the 53 as well. Sean Walton going to finish 4th, up 16 spots. Great run there by 6-7. And Joe Volpus rounding up your top 5. Playoff drivers, Grant Applegate, 6th. Kevin Kyle coming home in 7th. Eric Gambrel went for a ride there at the end, finishes 8th. Eric Thornton, playoff driver, joined in the top 10 by Dalton Geyer. So lots of playoff drivers, as we said earlier, for Thornton and Geyer. Going to be so hard to advance with all these fellas getting in the top 5 constantly, and that's exactly what we see again.
What is going to help, though, is guys who were in the outside or the inside looking out, finishing in 15th, 2 laps down, and that's Matt Novella. But in 11th, you had Steve Lewis. Good recovery from Louis. 12th place, Jack Sanders. 13th, Lucas Alves. Brilliant day from the 115. Just couldn't bring it home where he belonged at the end. But that is a sign of positive things to come for Lucas Alves. Hats off to that driver. 14th going to go Justin Parham. 15th, Matt Novella. A nightmare day for Matt Novella. Not what he needed. He's going to be in a tough situation next week. 16th place going to go to Brandon Guerin. Never say die, Brandon. 17th, J-Bev. Same goes for J-Bev. And then Hunter Hull will bring it home in 18th. And going on to what I believe is going to be the used car lot. Yes, 19th, 32 laps down. It's going to be Joseph Amato. Zach Lawson, 69. Very nice. 20 laps down. And then Alex Hillman So, man, another week, same story. Alex Tillman, early wreck, 119 laps down after having a fast race car.
Yeah, looking at they're adding the points for us as we speak, but as far as the championship goes, you have to think Thornton and Dalton Geyer must win next week. After today, Matt Novella probably going to dip below that top 4. Kevin Kyle's going to be very close. Maybe he was able to get above Thornton. We're just going to have to look, ahead of Novella. We're going to have to pay attention to the points. I think Joe Volpus is going to stay safe.
Oh, it's insane. It's updated and it's insane. Oh, give me a minute.
Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, best of the rest, what we saw going into that was a tie between Hunter Hall and Steve Lewis. Lewis coming home in 11th, gonna get an advantage over Hunter Hall, who finished in 18th. Other mover for the best of the rest gonna be Eric Gambrell with that 8th place finish. That'll bump him up. Remember, Gambrell missed Texas, so needing extra points just to catch up to the rest of these guys. Was 1 point behind Hillman, 3 points behind Beverly, and 11 behind your leaders. So might see a little bit of movement out of Gambrell as we move forward.
There you go,
Oh, it's so tiny.
I know. Oh, that's not what she said. That's not what she said. All right, I'll read it to you. Because I understand video is trash. So Bollinger's still in the lead, and mind you, Jordan Fisher has swept this round so far, so no one's locked in. No one will be locked in, I should say, unless they go to victory lane. Tony Iverson is -8 to Bollinger. Joe Volpus is -18. So I think you can say that Bollinger and Iverson are looking really, really good. And then who do you think is in 4th?
Oh, I'm going to go with Kevin Kyle.
Yep, Kevin Kyle has earned his way. Right now, if the season ended, he'd be in the championship race. He is up 3 points, -22 for Grant Applegate, and then 10 more until you get to Matt Novella. And then from there, it's must-win territory for Thornton and Geyer.
Oh, I think that puts Novella in must-win, because you really think that Applegate and Kevin Kyle and or Joe Volpus are going to have bad days?
That's a good point.
At Michigan, yeah, that's rough. So
you need a stage
Kyle,
win.
Applegate. Yeah, he needs 2 of those guys to screw the pooch.
Yeah, and you need a stage win. You need every point available to you. You need the pull. You need the lead laps, everything. But
you know who I've seen win there? Matt Novella.
Yeah, I have. Matt Novella loves those bigger tracks. He is lights out at places like Auto Club, Michigan, very, very similar. So Matt Novella, I mean, I think if he has to be in that situation, I don't think he could choose a much better track for it to be the reality he has to live with. But yeah, I think Matt Novella, while I do think pointing in is possible, yeah, you got to approach it like you got to win.
Wow, and then with just Applegate on the line, Kyle Volpus and Iverson continues his great season. Closes up 9 more points, or 11 points on Colin there. Great day or 8, I should say, for Tony. Well, let's do some interviews. Let's see what these boys got going on. Who you wanna talk to with that bonus?
I know we bring him all the time, but should we tell him that he's currently in a championship situation and hear a little bit about that strategy as well? Kevin Kyle.
Ooh, let's see if I can hunt this guy down. Oh, I see him. He's talking to Eric. They're probably talking about what happened. I just had to jump in and just yell, "It's your fault," and not identify which one.
Perfect. Do that.
Got him. Oh, he was mid-sentence.
Yeah, you were mid-sentence. Sorry, buddy. You don't get to talk to Eric Gambrell anymore. You're in the booth now.
Hey, it's all right. I appreciate the help with Eric there.
Oh, yeah. That was an interesting end of the race, but I think before we even talk about that, let's talk a little bit about your strategy going in. It looked fairly obvious to us in the booth that you were going for a one-stopper there, and not only was that strategy going perfectly for you, it got you the stage win. So tell me what's going through your head going into this race, because at first we were speculating about you just not having it, but clearly you had something up your sleeve. What led to that decision, and how upset or did you care about that caution that was in the latter half of the race?
Yeah, I mean, you always hope like your strategy can play out to see what's going to happen. So I mean, it was kind of a bummer, but you're rolling the dice with it, right? Like it's a long shot. So especially like for me, that I'm gonna be honest. I'm honest with myself. Like yes, I get close here and there, but with everyone in the league, it's really hard to get a win. So like those little type of things like are my kind of ways to sneak a win out of here. So that was just kind of my shot, but it really wasn't a plan going into it. I topped off with that first caution, and then I was like, you know what, fifth gear is just way too slow when everyone's running fourth. Like, it just doesn't work. So like I ran fourth, but just lifted early and not full throttle, like, you know, just cracked it everywhere I could, and then off early, and I was like, holy cow, like, I'm gonna make it to, you know, I was like, and then once I saw I could make it, I was like, okay, let me see if I can make it as far as I can. And then because then I was thinking in my head, I knew with fifth gear I could make 70 laps, right? So I was like, let me go as far as I can. And then you could see all of a sudden, like, once they saw me hit 70, everyone started slowing down. I think they were trying to save fuel too. But I was in the driver's seat because I could run fifth and not really have to worry about saving, just run fifth nice and consistently. And I was kind of getting excited. You know, the hope was like, hey, keep this thing green, see what happens. And then, yeah, and then the caution came out, and then I messed up. I pitted twice for fuel, and that kind of put me, when I pitted twice again, just to top off, because I was just paranoid. I don't know, I was just like, let me top off. And then I didn't catch the field in time. So then I was really far back, and I was like, shh, you know, I was like, crap, like, this isn't good. But that other caution came out, saved my butt. And then, but yeah, going into this was not saving fuel. It was just save the tire, because I knew running Iowa, the right front gets obliterated, and I was just like, you know, I'm gonna run my race, and hopefully they come back to me. But man, like, guys like Jordan and stuff can just run fast for the full stint, and not, it's amazing to me, you know. It's just like, what line are they running, what are they doing? It's really impressive, because yeah, I'm nowhere near any of that skill level, but let's just run to the bottom, saving that right front, and then hoping the guys will come back to me, man. But yeah, really happy with the day. Couldn't ask for anything better. Really surprised with the stage win. I was like, that's a first, I think, for me in this league. So yeah, man, super excited going into next week. So yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing for sure. I mean, it was really fascinating for us in the booth to follow. We had all our fingers and toes out, and we were counting, doing so much math. Our calculators were on fire after you did that 70-lap pit stop, and pretty much the way we had calculated it was that Jordan Fisher was going to catch you with 1 lap to go if everything had stayed green. And we started speculating about if that was the move or not. And then one thing dawned on me. I was like, wait a minute. He just won the stage. He can come in second place, and he'll probably still come out of here with as many points as Jordan Fisher. Unfortunately, the caution not allowing that to happen. But, Kevin, the biggest reason we wanted to bring you in here, we do have some news for you. I'm not sure if you know it yet, but if the going to Michigan, you're in the Final Four.
Say it again. Yes, I saw. Yeah, I'm super excited. I couldn't believe I saw. I was
job well done,
looking
my
at
friend.
Yeah, wait. There's 2 more races still to go. A lot can happen. I looked and saw how Novella had a bad day, Thornton had a bad day. So yeah, it's just all about staying consistent and out of trouble. Sometimes you can't do it. You just have to be looking for it. And yeah, man, it's kind of a roll of the dice, but it's also the way you drive contributes to all that. So you just try to be respectful out there. It comes back sometimes, and yeah, I felt like I got shown some respect out there by a few drivers, not by others, but it's okay. Like, you just keep running, you know, just keep your head up high, and just try to keep the positive vibes going out there, because it comes back tenfold, especially when you need it later on in these races. Yeah,
you're not lying. And with that said, one, any shout-outs you want to give, and definitely shout out that new sponsor you have on your car. Excited to hear about that. And 2, what did happen with Gamble there? Was that just a point you needed and you had to do what you had to do? I mean, I don't think it was particularly dirty. I thought it was an aggressive move on the last turn to where if what the worst case happened, which is what did happen, I think, he still finishes a spot behind you. So it didn't seem too egregious to me, but what was that in terms of the way you approached it?
Yeah, Eric was doing really good in front of me, and like, I just didn't have the grip to pass him. But it wasn't anything malicious. It was just he hammered the wall prior to that, and so his car was broke, and I just got underneath him. And yeah, I told Derek, I was like, hey, my bad. I didn't mean to get you out of shape that bad. I just gassed it up because I was so close. You know, I just wanted that extra spot to be behind Grant, because I knew Grant's on my butt, you know, in the standings. So I was like, I need every point. And so I was like, you know, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna knock Eric out of the way, but it ended up happening, and I still got my 0x, so I was super happy with that. But yes, speaking of super excited about stuff, yeah, the sponsor on my car is called Sim and Destroy Racing Company, and it's just like a little shirt company. I'm starting an apparel company in the footsteps of you, Zach. You shined the light on it with all your help. But yeah, website should be going up live here hopefully in the next day or 2. Yeah, it's just small business. It's me with the help of Zach showed me the ropes a little bit, and yeah, I'm making some shirts with those designs and that logo. So yeah, it's sndracingco.com, and then yeah, check it out. You put Sim and Destroy Racing Co. online. It should come up, hopefully, with all the work I've been doing on it. So yeah, super excited about that. The shirts are reasonably priced, so I'm not going to break your bank. But other than that, and it's still doing the woodworking stuff. So yeah, sorry for taking up all the time in the airspace on this show, but thank you, Zach. Appreciate the help with letting me plug that.
Excited to help, and yeah, the main thing is just more merch that it's sim racing themed, more awesome stuff for these guys to enjoy. And now we're gonna have a lot of league stuff, so I'm really excited about it and happy to be a part of it. So definitely check them out. I have seen the designs and they are badass, so it's gonna be great. Thanks for coming in, KK, and great finish today. Way to put on a show and way to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. Appreciate you guys up in the booth, and take care, guys. God bless.
I'm going, man.
Wow, what a great run here by Kevin. You know, it really, you know, we're coming into this thing. We said, okay, let's watch these 6 drivers. And now I feel like it's watch these 5 drivers.
Yeah.
Next week in Michigan, we're going to see Vulpes Kyle Applegate. We'll give you updates as it goes. Hopefully, Tony will stay clean, and Colin as well, where we don't magically find those guys wondering, oh no, what's happening. But the gap between Colin and the cutoff line is exactly the same as it was before the 1922 down to Applegate. So Colin would have to really have an interesting day, whereas for Iverson, he's 14 ahead of that cut and getting eliminated. So those 2 guys have to feel good. But as far as those other 3, Vulpes Kyle and Grant Applegate, they are all right in the middle of an amazing battle. 3 drivers looking to go into 2 spots. And you know what? Let's go ahead and talk to one of those guys right now, because I believe our 3rd place finisher, Colin Bollinger, is on the air. Let's bring him right in. Shazam. Colin Bollinger, you got Zach Panzarella, Mean Gene Money in the booth. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. What's going on, guys?
Welcome back to the podium, man.
Yeah.
Last week, not what we were looking for out of the 53. I think that might have been the first race I saw you not lead any laps. You come back here today, though. Great run. You keep that same gap between you and that cutoff line. Not a win yet, but you still have to feel good with the momentum of the 53.
Yeah, I mean, we feel good. I mean, 3rd place is really, for how I kind of drove through the field and how the car felt all night, wasn't really what we're looking for. But yeah, we just, with 40 to go, some of us were just doing a little too much racing, not really worried about, you know, riding around, and that's what happened. So we had to race one of those guys and just kind of all wore our tires out and let the leader, you know, keep his leads. You know, just how it goes.
Yeah, very, very difficult, especially like the last restart. The last 2 restarts, actually, we really saw some heavy racing out of the top 4, though, between Tony, you, Fisher, and who was the 4th guy in that mess? Was that Sean at that point?
Yeah, I think it was Applegate. Sean was kind of there towards the end.
Yeah. Though y'all 4, so really good racing right there. Did you feel like that was your best opportunity to get ahead of those guys? Because clean air looked like it was very advantageous.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying. I mean, well, on the first restart, you know, when we actually all had tires there, I got around Tony and about to make a pass on Grant, and then we have a caution come out, and, you know, resets, and then, you know, they played some lane gain. Like Fisher takes the outside, so we start behind Grant. We lose the spot we just gained to Tony. Try to pass Grant for 15 laps, and he's out there fighting on the high side, and just a big battle, and it really got all 3 of us kind of nowhere at the end. But that's just how it is, you know. It's racing, so we still finished with P3, and like you said, we have a good points gap to the cutoff line. So we just have a good week next week, and we'll be racing for championship again. So
really interesting points going on with Jordan taking the 2 wins here in the round of 8. No one is secure. So Geyer, Applegate, in a must-win situation. I believe Eric Thornton as well has to win based on just that points below the line. Matt Novella suddenly finds himself there on that corner as well. If I was going to put you on the spot, Vulpes, Kyle, Applegate, which one of those three would you not be heartbroken if they weren't in the Final Four?
Probably 14. Probably Applegate. You know, he runs up there with us every week. The guy keeps his tires on, but he's always there and he's always running quick. And I mean, if we could just let all of them out, that'd be cool. Only, you know, have 2 or 3 people racing for it. That'd make me feel a lot better. But you know, we gotta have 4. You know, so no. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind Grant getting in because, you know, feel then like the best 3 or 4 the whole season, it'll be racing for it. And you know, obviously Jordan is racing. He missed a couple of races, but that's probably the only guy we're really missing. But other than that, I feel like me, Iverson, and him have been like the best 3. And then whoever gets in after that, you know, good for them. Not really worried about it at this point.
Yeah, but you're right. It'd be neat to see that 14. He started late in the season. He missed a couple of races, but to see the points there at the end for him, very good. Also, man, your teammate looked good as well here today, Sean. Did y'all put in some laps at this? Did y'all talk about this? We've discussed the extensive amount of data and telemetry that's going on over on that other side. You know, Applegate and Fisher are now in the Discord of Iverson and Thornton, and they're running the fish speed all week long. How much prep and communication went on with Team Delusional going into this event?
10:33 p.m. when I logged into the session. It's about usually where it is every week. You know, we kind of just pop in and party. That's about it.
Must be nice.
So let me ask you this though. So we've seen Iverson take it to another gear in the playoffs, I believe, since he's gone in with this fish speed unit. I really think he's just running a little bit better than he was. He's not quite as aggressive also. You know, he's not making the contact with people. If you see the same results from that group at Michigan, might that 53 team put in a little bit of work before the Kentucky race for that Final Four?
Yeah, I mean, I could sit here and lie and say yes, but probably not.
Yeah, do it. Lie to me. Ask all the girls
Yes.
I've dated.
Oh my God, no. We're gonna be putting in hours every night. We're gonna be wrenching. We're gonna be, oh my God, we're gonna be clicking through the brake bot. We're gonna be figuring out everything we could do with that fixed setup, and we're gonna dial it in.
Yes, you're going to use all 50 of your Fanatec Ghost laps, aren't you?
Yep. No, I mean, it does sound like we should practice more. It's just one of the things. Once you get home from, like, you know, work, like, it's some people have the drive to do it. I'm just one. Sometimes I just don't want to even touch the wheel until it's time to race. So, and that's just kind of how I am. I put a lot of laps on worse video racing games years ago. I really don't want to, like, practice laps. I don't want to do that really anymore. So I hop in when it's practice time the hour before, and we figure it out from there usually.
Well, the advantage, of course, is all the hours that you have putting you in the position that you are currently. Colin Bollinger is your points leader. Feels good going into Michigan next week with a nice little window of 22 points ahead of that 5th place and elimination position. Colin, anybody you want to give a shout out to here today?
I just same guys every week. It's Team Delusional, Dan Plant Smith, Rayshon Wingfield, you know, I guess Andrew Bolander, he wasn't here tonight. Hunter Manley, and then just you guys, you know, every week putting on a good broadcast, you know, having fun. I can't wait to watch it back. I watch it every week. You know, thumbs up, hit the like button, sub, all that stuff. Whoever's watching, and all that good stuff. But no, that's really it. Just
that's the practice right there, Colin. That's the practice.
Hell yeah!
Putting that film, man.
We didn't even pay him for that plug. That just came naturally. Colin, thank you, brother. Have a great week, and we will see you next week here at Michigan. Enjoy your evening, sir.
Good job, man.
Yep.
Good luck next week.
Guys. Thank you. Yep, thank you, buddy.
Oh, it's getting tight. He's got that great lead, but once it becomes the Final Four, it opens things up. Jordan, of course, won't be eligible for that, but Iverson, I just think Tony has kicked into a new gear since he started working with that fish speed group, and we just saw it again here today. Long run speed, not enough to catch and pass Jordan, but was enough to maintain that comfortable lead.
Yeah, it really was. And I mean, I think you can look at Colin's approach that he was just talking about, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but you could view it as lazy or whatever you wanted to, or just so jealous of his natural talent. But I mean, I think it's also the way you approach the race. Like, I can tell you, I was lucky enough to go to victory lane today and DDIRL in the broadcast before this, but I did not control that race, and I practiced way, way, way harder than my teammate Patrick Calgill did. And I think practicing also, it puts a lot of pressure on you, Mean Gene, because you know how many hours you put towards it, you know how badly you want it to go well, and you know how much you are capable of it because of the hours you put in, and you feel like you have this advantage because of the practice, and you're assuming you've outworked your team or your competitors. And sometimes it is better, especially when you have the talent that Colin does, to just show up to the track, know you have the talent to run up front, and just be loosey-goosey. I just got to the rig, let's do this thing.
I agree. At least you're fresh, especially after a long day of work.
For sure, that too.
It can make it a whole lot more difficult. Well, let's bring in Mr. Second Place.
Should we call him that?
Second. Yeah, oh, he'll love
sure, he
it.
Loves that, yeah.
Got second place here today in the race. Also, second place in the points standings. I'm going to pull them all up, and let's see if you got... I wouldn't do it.
I'm not going to. Tony Iverson, we got you, my man.
Yo,
Mr. Tony, how you doing, man? Great run today. I mean, it's been, I feel like, too long since we've gotten to talk to you extensively. At least I have. So I got a few questions for you. I mean, first off, exceptional run today. You seem to have potentially, especially in the early goings, the fastest long run car, but just weren't able to make it happen there at the end. Any idea why, or is it just Jordan Fisher reasons?
oh man, he's fast, man, and you know he got the lead, he maintained it, he did what he had to do, you know. I do think I had him a little bit on the long run, but at the very end of the race there, when there was about, I don't know, 15 or so laps to go, I saw myself kind of gaining a tenth or so on him here and there, so I started to try to push a little more, and ended up heating up the right front, and yeah, I just kind of had to accept my second place. But yeah, no, I honestly hate this track. I don't like it. I don't like the way it races. I don't like it. It literally just feels like a really bad version of Richmond to me. I've never been a fan of Iowa.
Harsh.
And yeah, just not a fan.
I
But
liked it before the repave.
I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now.
The bump was annoying, but then they were like, let's fix the bump and give you guys an even bigger issue.
I feel like the bump down the front stretch, right after where the pavement switches, along with basically the same place on the back stretch, is so damn annoying.
That pavement transfer is brutal. Yeah, we talked about that a lot today.
And I'm sure you guys saw it in the broadcast, the way that cars just bounce down the front straightaway like they're on the whoop-de-whoop on a motocross track. You know, you feel that in the car, and yeah, it's just, I just don't like this damn track. So I came in literally the moment I seen the schedule before the season even started. I looked at this round, and then I saw Talladega followed by this track, and it put like a small pit in my stomach. So to come out of Talladega in the top 10 and not really get too hurt points wise there, and then come in here and be so much stronger than I thought I was going to be. I feel good going into Michigan. It's one of my best tracks, and I got a good little points cushion right now. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm just going to start practicing Kentucky now.
I mean, I would
me and
too.
Michigan get along like that, and I feel like I got a good enough points cushion where, you know, even after the update, they had a Michigan week in officials, and it's just one of my favorites. I was blazing up lap times that people in the Discord I was in didn't even believe until I put the screenshot up. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, I feel good about the next race, and then, you know, like I said, I'm feeling pretty confident to start practicing for the Final Four. No, yeah, this race needed to happen the way it did, and I've already gave Jordan his shit for being here and taking my win, but other than that, it was a good one. I had a lot of fun.
See, Tony, you got to do what I did in the race before this, and you got to hire somebody to wreck your teammate or your friend that's better than you, and so you can win. I mean, that's what I did. I just had to Venmo Chris Cowgill shortly after this. But besides that, I mean, I think one thing as well, Tony, is we've kind of seen two different sides of you this season. It feels like early in the season, and again, I don't mean this in a bad way at all, but like, I think a more emotional driver. I think you were driving like you had more to prove and really, really wanted to get that 13 in victory lane. And I think your long-term thinking wasn't quite there yet. Not like it should have been because it was very early in the year. But I think the past 5 or 6 weeks, we've seen you very dialed in, completely different on track, the same speed, but a totally different, I want to say approach. I mean, I criticized you for leaving too much room today, so that should say a lot. I just want to know, has that been a conscious thing for you, or has that just been the way that the points are having to focus more on the points now that we're in the nitty gritty of the playoffs, or has your approach consciously changed?
Honestly, I feel like I've been 100% aware of exactly what you're talking about, but just unable to make immediate changes. So like, yes, in the beginning of the season, I was hyped and a lot of emotion, a lot of passion. It's part of who I am. I have a lot of passion. Once I decide I like something, it's bad. And then I felt myself kind of coming to a figurehead where I needed to chill the fuck out. And sorry. But literally right when I kind of just changed my approach, I got that Phoenix win, I got that Pocono win, and I was feeling real good. And then getting ran through at Indy, I think it put me in a bad spot again, because I don't know if you guys noticed this in the chronicles of Tony, but I was definitely the fastest car at Texas, and I took myself out of the race with a pit road penalty. And it was the same thing in Chicago. I can't get those races out of my mind, because, especially the Texas one, because I was just so good on the long run. I felt the speed. I hate to be that much of a faster car and then lose and have it be exactly my fault. And I did that 2 weeks in a row, right in the start of the playoffs. And that's when it hit me again that I needed to, chill out. I kind of just needed to reset. And that's why I was like, you know what? I want a new paint scheme. I want to, just kind of clear the slate. Yeah. I wanted to get away from the black cars, try to not attract the cloud of rage as much, and so far, I've been feeling pretty good. I actually finished 7th at a Talladega race, which I know doesn't sound like much, but you guys have seen me on super speedways. I always push somebody too hard, cause a giant wreck, and then finish last. So it was nice to make it through there, even though I did push somebody too hard and cause a wreck. Sorry, case of beer. And then, to come to a track that even after tonight, I still don't like this track, but to come away and, be the highest finishing guy that's not in the playoffs, that feels good. And like I said, I like my point gap and really looking forward to how the season's going to go.
Yeah, and I'm a lot like you, Tony, and that's why it was a weird thing to bring up. But yeah, like, you're a racer, and I knew you wouldn't take it offensively. But yeah, I'm also an extremely emotional driver, and I've had my teammates call me out for it. And I kind of hit a point as well where I was like, you know what? Like, I like being an emotional driver. I am an emotional driver. That's who I am. I just need to control it better, but I'm not going to dial back how much I care about this. I'm not going to dial back how I act. So yeah, I think you have absolutely found that balance. I think personally you're putting together some of the best driving we've ever seen here in the MRL from you. I think there's just a matter of that there's a guy like Jordan Fisher, a complete and absolute alien out there. But you have just been lights out fast. And another reason I'm like you, or another way I'm like you, Tony, is I also, when things are going badly, I'm like, get me out of this black race car, get me into a bright blue race car. And I also wanted a bright blue race car today after getting rid of a black one. So I don't know, something about there's always a cloud over your head when you're driving a car that's dominantly black. And if you can win in those, you're in a good place. because I don't know why they're bad luck for me. But amazing job today, Tony, and great to hear your perspective on everything. Great to hear from you again, for me personally, and amazing drive today. You're in a great situation going into Michigan. So I think just like you're assuming, we should likely be seeing you racing for a championship again in Kentucky. So congratulations on the season you've had already, and good luck in Michigan. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you out of here?
Oh yeah, definitely got to shout out the new allegiance with Fish Speed, a new speed shop patroned by none other than Mr. Fisher. It's just a great, conglomerate of guys that are just coming together, sharing knowledge, sharing techniques, strategies, approaches. A lot of fast drivers just, sharing info, trying to make everybody better. Anytime somebody asks a driving related question, there's a driving related reply so quickly. It's just, it's a nice little community that's budding over there. And, as somebody who loves driving the way that I do, it's nice to kind of be in a group of people that seem to be as obsessed as I am. So, Fish Speed's been awesome. And then, of course, my wife, she does what she does, and then it allows me to do what I'm doing. So, big shout out to her. And then, you guys, I love the broadcast. I can't wait to watch this one. And then, of course, MRL in general, JBev and everybody that helps put these on. I love this league so much. I love this entire community so much. I really do. Like, this is just peak to me. Even if BRL wants to not let me beat their fast guys.
Hey, same here, buddy.
I
Same
still
here.
love all you guys.
Or else you and me will be out there just spanking it.
That's what I'm going to
teammates
go
probably.
with.
Yeah, right, definitely. We have to go with that. If we're not going to let us out there, we would have won every race for sure.
Yeah, I'd ban me too.
Exactly.
But outside of that, I also give a shout out to basically everybody on the car: VRN, KK Woodscapes, Fish Speed, MRL. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Tony. Congratulations on the finish today. Nothing like putting a run like that together at a track that you were not looking forward to. We'll see you in Michigan, man. Best of luck, and hope to see you racing for a championship again.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Man, look at
so sounds like it's a different Tony.
Oh, look at Connor Hall on that replay right there. It does sound like a different Tony, and I was honestly, me and you asking that question. Wow. Sorry, I'm just realizing on screen that Jordan Fisher dodged Hunter Hall by about a millimeter about halfway through this race and a pit entry. That's wild. We'll have to ask him about that. Definitely ask him about that. I did not know that happened. But yeah, I honestly expected the inverse answer there. I thought he'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and the same Tony Iverson. I don't like him. I don't like that person. But no, for him to consciously dial it back and to know that that's where his headspace is in, that's a dangerous number 13 right there.
Yeah, and especially has to feel good knowing you're not racing Fisher. This is just a guy that you're getting to pull that knowledge from. He still wants to beat him, and I don't think he's going to wrap it up and just accept, getting second if it beats Colin. I think he still would love to win it. You don't want to have that Blaney championship. You want to get that Logano championship. So I think
no one wants that Larson or Panzarella championship.
It was so close last year for Tony watching Colin win the championship. So maybe this is the year that Colin watches Tony. And I think that partnership for Tony is definitely helping. But Colin's still going to have something. I mean, defending champ, run the regular season. So we'll see how it all unfolds.
And look at this on screen, Gene, when you get Jordan in here. Check this out. Look at that. Look how close this was.
Ooh.
Look at Fisher locking it up, and then Hunter Hall inexplicably goes forward.
He's like, "Oh, I got you. We're good."
Must have thought that was in the DDI Venmo tab. We like Jordan Fisher here.
Well, look, yeah, I'm looking at the rewind right now. Oh yeah,
crazy, right?
Oh my, he locked it down. Look, he's just waiting.
I mean, like, that just goes to show that there's no way to screw up Jordan Fisher. And sorry, long enough. Get the men in here. We have enough fish heads wherever they are waiting to hear from their
They're
boy.
ready for it. Jordan Fisher, Mean Gene Money, and Zach Panzarella in the booth. You got your ears on, buddy.
Yeah, you guys got me. Yep.
Patience.
Woo, win number 6, doing the donuts, having the party. How you feel, brother?
Oh man, I feel relieved. My race could have ended so much earlier, but I survived that, and yeah, it was a good one.
Well, I was going to wait. I wasn't going to bring it up at the beginning, but
Let's go straight
how
to it.
about that pit stop by Hunter Hall? He was waiting for you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like, he did not want me to go in the pits because I was thinking about going one more lap then pitting, but then I was, everyone started pitting and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna dip in right now, and all of a sudden I come around the corner and Hunter Hall is just sideways sitting in front of me, and it absolutely scared the living crap out of me, but I didn't lose too much time, so we somewhat survived it decently, got away with it.
Yeah, you got to love those brown pant moments at any point in a race, and that definitely was a little bit of excitement there for the 39. Speaking of excitement, how about those last 2 restarts that you guys had? Great racing there with Applegate, Colin Bollinger, and Tony Iverson. Was that the most under attack you felt? Take me through those.
I would say those last couple of restarts, it definitely got really spicy. Tony got so much better over this race, and so I knew he had the long run pace for sure, and he was able to place his car side by side, with me for a couple of laps. So yeah, I mean, Tony, Colin was right there, Applegate, all those guys was right there at the end. But ultimately, just having that clean air, give him all that dirty air, and was able to hold the position up front. So that definitely helped. So, and taking 2 tires at the end too. I thought about taking 4 there, but I just wanted to make the car a little bit looser, just because it's so tight around here anyways. So I figure get the left side a little bit looser, and it was kind of faster on that little bit short run to kind of give myself a gap.
Yeah, and that track position, so vital. We saw you and Iverson did pull away on the last restart, but Iverson only had about 10 laps, 15 laps of tires to attack you until you got out to that nice, comfortable 8/10, 9/10 full second lead, able to power around and make that happen. I got to tell you, Tony giving you lots of flowers for the collaboration. How successful has the Fish Speed Discord been, and did it surpass what you anticipated when you first started this?
It's definitely surpassed what I first started. When I first started, I was just thinking, I'm just gonna have my own personal notes in here. I didn't really think too much of sharing too much of it. But over time, I opened up. I want to thank Evan Stewart quite a bit for helping me with that, and then getting a lot of the guys who run in BRL leagues, DDI, ZTRL here in MRL, all a bunch of next gen drivers, ARCA drivers. If you race on asphalt, I want to encourage you to join us, and we will, anytime you guys got any questions on how to save tires, how to do a specific quality lap, the lines and all that, we will always try to give you the best advice. We're not the fastest people on the same by any means, but
besides you,
we're certainly, we're striving for that. We got high goals. Our goals are, is the road to pro Coke stuff. We're trying to race with the best people on the sim.
love that.
Well, yeah, we definitely have seen a difference. Tony's ability, he came up a few seconds behind Colin in the championship race last year, and then this year, especially, I'd say over the last 4 races, we're seeing him on the other side of that coin, and I think this partnership has definitely helped him. And I encourage you guys at home, take Jordan up on this offer. This is a great opportunity for you to get some free info, and there's no obligation here. If you have the ability to pay attention and be a part of it for a couple 3 weeks, great. Then work comes in, real life comes in. Nobody's going to call you out. This thing is just an extra bonus that everybody takes advantage of, and I want to congratulate you, Jordan, because only thing I've heard out of that thing is just accolades, as people getting faster and faster and having that opportunity to get that knowledge, especially in a short time. I mean, I'm not doing 100 laps over here, but I lock in, ask a question, and I just got hundreds of laps of information and data right there at my fingertips. So really influential from what I've seen for the Bonfire guys and for the MRL guys, and DDI for the leagues that we cover. So you got a lot of fans out there at the watching this thing. What do you want to call them? You want to call them fish heads? What's a good name, Jordan?
Well, I mean, you can call my dad like you just call him an old fart or an old fish. You know, I'm sure he'll give me a hard time about that. But
Kingfish, I hear you. That's a great one, Kingfish. I like that. I'm gonna go with that, Jordan.
I love that.
But no, we're just fishermen. That's about it.
Yeah,
the fishermen.
I went fish heads, but fisherman's great too. That's what
I love the fisherman.
Johnny Replay liked.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anybody want to give a shout out to here tonight, Jordan?
Yeah, I want to thank John at Superior Repairs Model Reconditioning for this hot rod livery 2 for 2 with this car in the MRL series now. So it's been awesome running this thing. I want to thank all the guys at Speed, everybody that puts in the work, Evan and Aiden, and it's everybody there. You guys in the booth do a great job. Tony did an absolute fantastic run tonight. Huge kudos to him. I think he's only going to continue to run strong, and a win's coming for him. So just everybody here, all the admins, you guys putting on the race, and appreciate you guys.
Awesome. That's your winner tonight, Jordan Fisher, picking up win number 6 in a amazing season from what we've seen so far. Rookie season too, right? You call him rookie? Yeah. You want to call him rookie of the year?
I guess we could. I mean, he deserves some sort of trophy.
Nah, we'll have to talk to Kev and maybe get KK Woodscapes to make a little something on the side. Jordan, thank you so much, man. Hell of a show. Enjoyed it immensely. Go have a drink with your friends. You have earned it, my friend. Congratulations.
Great job, Jordan. It's been fun watching you, man.
Yep, Fear the Fish. That's 6.
Fear the Fish.
Oh, man, I love he always has a good sign off too.
That's a great sign off, man. That's a great sign off.
Yeah, the 6. He threw it up there. And you got to do it with 2 hands. Yeah. You can't signify 6 with just one. So now he's up to the second hand. That's when like a Brady thing.
The hat dance starts getting kind of awkward. Like, what's the hand signal here? I mean, that's a good place to be. And one more thing to piggyback on the I guess you could say lessons or coaching that Fisher is providing with Fish Speed over there. I mean, you've got to take advantage of that. And the one thing I would say to you, if you're on the fence about it, whether you're nervous about it being an uncomfortable situation, first off, I was too. The first time I got coached, I've been lucky enough to have been coached by a few drivers that I would consider close to or on the level of Jordan Fisher, which is just incomprehensibly fast. But they are such sweethearts, and they are so good at breaking it down in a way that is understandable for someone who just doesn't quite grasp the cars as well as they do, or how to be fast. And I always say this to you, me and Jim, we say it on the broadcast all the time. It's not about how to be fast. It's about understanding why you are fast. And that is what those type of lessons will do for you in that type of coaching. And if you're wondering too, like, I don't really need to know if I need it. Well, ask yourself if you're better than Tony Iverson. And we've watched Tony Iverson get a lot better. And if you're not, which I think only 1 or 2 people in this league could potentially say they are even on his level, maybe you could use some. If he can push his ego aside and get coached like that, then I'm sure anyone else out there can too. And also, if there was a little bit extra for Tony Iverson to find, Jordan found it. That's insane to me. And it really just goes to show not only how good of a driver that Jordan is, but also how good of a coach he is.
Yeah, you're not in your own head. You know, you're not just in the echo chamber.
You're so right.
Suddenly you got somebody else that you're talking to, and all those insecurities, frustrations, that's not in the forefront of your head any longer. Now it's this outside data that's coming. And yeah, like you said, if you're worried about something like that, man, people like teaching. Teaching is an opportunity to revisit. You're revisiting those principles that made you fast. And when you're teaching, I run into this in jiu-jitsu all the time. I teach kids, I teach adults, And while I'm going over things with a white belt or a blue belt, I'm revisiting what is basic, but then I remember, oh snap, I have forgotten some of these steps in this move. I'm jumping ahead of myself, and going over those basics or intermediate techniques allow me to revisit my technique and become that much better. So when you're learning, or being taught, they're learning as well. And so definitely a pleasure for those guys to do that. Like you said, a great opportunity there. But speaking of opportunities, you know who else gives you great opportunities, Zach? That's the Vortex Racing Network. We give you so many opportunities to see such amazing racing. Double header tonight, Watkins Glen, just earlier tonight for the DDRL. Tonight, Monday Night Mayhem with an amazing show. Tomorrow, the Tuesday trucks continues, Big Trucking Tuesday on the Vortex Racing Network. Going to be race number 2. 42 drivers showed up last week at Kentucky, so hopefully we're going to see another big old field for the
42.
Big Trucking. I know, man.
They don't
it
have
was
room for
crazy.
me and Tony. My goodness, we don't fit.
No, not in that one. But amazing action. Week 2 will occur for Tuesdays. Thursday, just 2 races left. Phoenix for the last chance qualifier, then your championship next week. That's live with Kevin Kyle. And Sunday, the Premier Cup will be starting their playoffs. Playoff positions are solidified, and gotta check that out. Tommy Fox, first time championship caliber driver. Tommy snuck in with that 12th spot, so I'm gonna be pulling for the T-Man down in that league. And then sister league, sister broadcasting channel, MRL Broadcasting, will be doing a rebroadcast of their Friday Night Thunder series. That will be Saturday night with John Beverly and Smokin' Joe. Gotta check that out.
That was a lot of fun last week.
It was. You gotta subscribe. You gotta subscribe to the channel. You gotta like the broadcast to get that thing up in the algorithm, and you gotta share it with your friends. Give you something to talk about around the cooler the next day when you saw exactly what happened, and you can argue, because that is such the best part about watching a race, is the different interpretations of how it went down. Hey, what happened? Did that guy cut down on my guy, or did your guy plow up into my guy?
Right, and that is a lot of what goes on here. And yeah, a lot of these leagues either getting started or in the nitty gritty. The DDI ARCA series, excuse me, is only 4 races away from concluding their championship. They will finish 2 weeks after this one does. That one is kind of like a Winston Cup type standings. You have some modern touches like stage racing and bonus points, but it's running a season-long format, only 10 races over there. Kind of a proof of concept for this doubleheader. And with that said, I want to thank everybody watching at home and everyone who's made this doubleheader such an enormous success, something that we could absolutely repeat going forward. Who knows, maybe even both DDI leagues can exist together on Wednesdays and Mondays at the same time. We'll explore that in the future, but for now, thank you all for that. This league, 2 races to go, and as always, Mean Gene, just not ready for it to end. Gone by way too fast, especially once we get here in the postseason. Going to be a long off season, but luckily we also have the Drive to 5 coming up shortly after that, and the Big Trucking Tuesday, the Dennis Puckett Memorial League, just getting started right now. Thursday, in the nitty gritty of it all, I heard Zach Panzarella has a big best of the rest championship lead there, so that's going to be a good thing to follow there. Besides just the main championship, who cares about that? Just kidding. It's going to be really good to follow. It's been amazing over there. And then also, like you said, the Saturday Breakouts on Fridays has been great. Got to run there for my one part-time appearance last week. Had an amazing time. We went, I think it was like 90 laps, green flag at NWB, Mean Gene. So it really goes to show the quality of racing over there. And if you want to talk quality, Sunday night, or Sunday morning, I should say, we all know what that's all about.
Yeah, so plenty of opportunities. If you are a racer at home, you want to get involved in this thing, all these leagues are free. All these leagues have an I rating cap. So regardless of your skill level, there will be a place for you in these leagues somewhere. Highest league, of course, is the 3,000 rating of the Thursday Truck Series. 2,000 for the Tuesday Truck Series, 2,400 for Monday, for Sundays, and
24 for DDIRL on Mondays, and it'll be 28 for Wednesdays when we come back in February.
There you go. So plenty of opportunities. Go ahead and send us a message and we'll get you involved. We'll get you down somewhere. Also, use those iRacing recruitment groups on Facebook. We also respond to those and we can get you involved, get you on the track, and who knows, maybe you'll be up here in the booth giving a little chat with Zach Panzarella next time you have that opportunity. Well, Zach, that is going to wrap us up. Great day of racing. All 4 spots still open for the championship run. It will all be decided next week at Michigan. Can Colin and Tony hold on with their big leads? Will Joe Vulpes be able to sneak in? Will Kevin hold on to his lead? Can Grant Applegate, once again, the dentist, get in by the skin of his teeth? He's always 1 point out on the elimination race.
Yeah, we got a thriller coming up, Mean Gene.
Yeah, and then he always managed to sneak it in. And that's another guy knocking on the door of a win.
Yeah.
So have to pay attention to exactly what happens with the progress
Which was
of
tomorrow.
that 14. Yeah, and then, hey, Novella's won in Michigan.
Yeah.
Dalton's won at Michigan.
Yeah.
Eric Thornton's won at Michigan. So this is not over.
No,
This
I
is
finished second
not
Eric Thornton in
over by
Michigan. You're
any-
right. This thing is so far
Yeah.
from over.
Yeah.
It could flip upside down next Monday. I am so excited.
Would that not be the most insane thing ever as we're
my
talking
God.
about the battle between Vulpes, Kyle, and Applegate? Like, one of these guys ain't going to get in, and then turn around and have an Eric Thornton win. And it's like, okay, only one of these guys is going to get in.
Yep. Inject that in my veins. Let's do that. Oh, man. I mean, I totally forgot. And you're right. They've all won there. They're all fast
They've all won there.
Like, very
Yeah.
fast there. Like, they had that track circled on their calendar, whether or not it's this race, this important. They were excited for this one. Woo-hoo. Mean Gene, I'm stoked.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those big races for all these drivers, so can't wait to see what's going to happen. But we got a big week before that comes in. Join us tomorrow night for the Dennis Bucket Big Trucking Tuesday, week number 2 in their season. Going to be exciting. That's going to wrap us up for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, all of our sponsors, Chantilly Lace Photography, KK Woodscapes, thank you so much for your support. Thank you to the league admin, Steve Fugit, Joe Vulpes, John Beverly, all the men and women. Well, there's no women involved, but all the men that make this. Maybe there should be. Ladies,
Maybe.
reach out. Let's get one of y'all in here.
Make us look cooler.
Yeah, exactly. We need that check mark. But thanks so much to the admins as well, and you, the viewers at home. You guys are why we get to do this as well. Like, subscribe, and share. Make it happen. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. As always, bottoms up and hammer down.